And welcome to Brisbane, this fine city playing host to the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series, Australia versus New Zealand. Two fierce rivals in men's and the women's, a best-of-3 series. And first up today here at Perry Park, it's the ladies' turn. Australia has never been beaten by the Kiwis in the women's. And Russell Fairfax, let's have a look at how the Australian girls will line up for game one.
This is a strong Aussie lineup. Watch out for Sharon Williams, Gabrielle Marr, Giselle Torrado, and the young lass from Mount Isa, Tanya Suter. She's been in fine form. And
the coach of the Aussie girls is Peter Bell. Let's hear from him now.
The rivalry is absolute. We get a bunch of Anzacs out on the field, and it's quite amazing. They'll go at each other, and we've had lots of good contests in the past, and I don't think anything will be any different.
Aussie coach Peter Bell, some stirring words, and now the Kiwis. Can New Zealand, the outsiders, topple the Aussies?
This will be a fierce contest. Much will depend on the two co-captains, Anna Richards and Cynthia Nawati, but they do have the leading touchdown scorer in Vanessa Coots.
Let's then hear from one of the Kiwis' co-captains, Cynthia Nawati.
I've never been in a winning side. That's our focus. We've used that as, come on, let's be the first team to beat them. They're going to be a lot of surprise Australians. We've introduced a different game. We're really using our speedsters because it's six-a-side, it's more expensive. They're going to be seen out there.
Yeah, six-a-side, very much the point here. The first time it has been tried at this level for the Kiwis and the Aussies and New Zealand. First possession, running from left to right on your screen. Again, it will be the buddy system employed for the referees. 3 referees in charge of this match, and they will do their work basically without notice. A drop ball there from Rangatawa, and Australia will come up with possession. This Aussie side, we've seen many of these girls before in State of Origin touch. They are certainly the country's elite. That's Christy Judd up to halfway, and a drive down the left side with Melissa Pitfield. We've got the buggy cam operating on the sideline, certainly emphasising the speed of the play, and the time that it takes them to cover that length of the field is quite astonishing, as now Pitfield gets a run close to the scoreline, but caught in possession and a turnover back the way of the Kiwis.
Great defensive dive by Anna Richards. They won't give up a touchdown very easily in this first 10 minutes.
Now the Kiwis working from their own danger zone, and Emma-Jean Rangatawa, a soft drop ball from one of the more experienced players in the squad, and this is a big chance for the Aussies. On this play, Tanya Suter coming up to the 5-metre line. And now controlling the pace with Jodie English, a standout performer at last year's State of Origin series for New South Wales. Pushing forward again, working the left with Suter. A straight line, a wall of defence being offered, and Suter goes straight through. Scooter Suter, that is an easy touchdown.
How easy was that one? She just stalled them for a moment, took off in a flash, left the defence standing. Here it is again. Take a look at this. Throws the big dummy and then just accelerates into open spaces. There was never a doubt, and that is touchdown number 1.
Great example there of Australia dictating the speed of the game and picking their moment. The touchdown scored by Tanya Suter, the first of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman series. The Kiwis on the drive now. Let's hear from our touchdown scorer.
Tanya, must be nice to have 1 on the board.
It's good, it's a relief, yeah.
What's it like out there?
Very fast. Yep, very intense.
Obviously, slippery conditions. Does that make it a little bit difficult?
It does, yeah. It just means you have to take extra care when passing and catching, yeah.
We can't emphasise too much how slippery it is. The overnight rain has made it very tough for the girls. And this is Giselle Torrado looking to link up with support. Australia switching to the right with their captain Kitty Marr, and a drop ball this time from the Aussies.
Plenty of nerves out there, both sides. This is a big match. This is Test football.
Jean Rangatawa with a quick dump, and that seems to be the tactics of the Kiwis early. Trying to get a drive on inside the Australian half. Emma-Jean Rangatawa close to the sideline. Now Coots. And this time with Cardenay. Now only 5 metres out from the Aussies line. Looking for the reply to the Suter touchdown. Anna Richards slows up play, and now they will pick up the tempo. Richards is in support, but the acting half is caught in possession. A turnover goes the Aussies' way.
Alicia Kolovos read it to a T. Let her squeeze through the hole and then claimed her over the line.
Those of you watching touch at this level for the first time, the moment the acting half is caught in possession, it is a turnover. And right now, again, we get an example of the speed of the Aussies going straight up the park. This is Christy Judd getting it inside the New Zealand half. 3 sets of sisters in the Aussie side. That's quite an achievement. Now Torrado. The drive continues from acting half. Acting half cannot score. They need to find support. Torrado puts it down. That would have been touchdown number 2.
What about the drive from the Aussies? They're on fire from one end of the field to the other. Just unlucky, the final pass.
A few alarm bells ringing in this Kiwis defensive line. They've been under pressure early. Australia leading by 1 touchdown to 0, and Anna Richards, again one of the more experienced players, getting involved. They really need to put their stamp on this match, and the Australian defence is very effective.
There's plenty of talk out there by the Aussies.
Nice scoop there from Wahoney, but acting half again caught in possession, so Australia with it, and this time the drive will start not far off halfway. Suter just slowing play up on the left side of the field. Kitty Ma, so good at calling the shot, so nimble on her feet. Now Jodie English for Kitty Ma.
Well, Australia can see weakness up the middle because that's where they're hitting all the time. Refusing to go wide, trying to get it just behind the defensive line with some change of possession.
Amanda Judd, quick hands Jodie English, but put down by Melissa Pitfield. But you just get the feeling that second touchdown is not far off. Only poor handling letting Australia down. It was a nice switch. And again, back with the Kiwis, away from their own line. Susie Shortland dropped there in the roll ball by Uppity.
Not happy, the Kiwis there. They thought it was knocked down. Referee got it right.
Diane Uppity putting it down. Australia on the attack. Close to the New Zealand line. This camera from in goal. Watching the switching and the angles that the Australians will try to run. They're similar to the build-up to the first touchdown, but the ball put down that time by Catherine Barr.
A mistake counting the numbers. Aussies can't afford that.
An alternating speed with the Australian attacking line. The Kiwis with Nawati. A switch back close to the ruck. This is a more impressive drive. Vanessa Coots getting involved. A little Aussie hand was in there. That's the appeal from the Kiwis. And referee allows New Zealand to retain possession. Now pushing forward with Vanessa Coots. This is Rangatawa, Emma Jean. They have a set of sisters of their own, Emma Jean and Jodie Rangatawa. That time put down by Vanessa Coots.
Fundamental skills within the Kiwis down here. Just a simple catch and pass. They can't get it right.
Gabrielle Ma gets inside the half, but a penalty goes the way of the Aussies. It all helps. And now a quick drive as Kitty Ma pushing along to the left with Jodie English. Ma into acting half again. The quick switches of play. They're threatening for that second touchdown. Tirado is the speedster. That time caught in possession. This has been a terrific start. Let's head to the sideline with Amanda to pledge.
Peter, a nice positive start for you. You've already got one on the board.
Yeah, good start. Girls going well. Just relaxing, getting into the game nice and early. I'm very pleased with their start. Long way to go, though.
What about the New Zealand attack?
Well, they probably haven't shown us too much yet. A bit greasy, the conditions, so we're sort of just keeping an eye on them at the moment.
Peter Bell's satisfied, but in the meantime, he won't be too happy with an Australian loss of possession. And the Kiwis on the drive now with a chance. Wahoney putting that pass a little low for an outside player, Susie Shortland. It was a difficult one to take, and even more so in these conditions.
It's one the Kiwis needed. They're trailing 1 touchdown to 0. They need to get back on level terms.
Now Catherine Barr, Tirado, the moment she gets the ball, speed off the mark. Quite a feature. Now Melissa Pitfield. Lovely scoop from Tirado, but a poor pass. Past the legs of Pitfield. Kiwis will have possession.
Put that one down on a greasy ball. That just slipped out of her hands. There was no drama there. That won't happen again to Tirado.
Best of 3 series in the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman title. Australia the defending champions in the women's, also the World Cup champions. The Kiwis with plenty to prove. And I guess they've got to be happy they're only 1 touchdown to 0 down as they push forward with Anna Richards.
Well, they've shown us very little at this stage, haven't they, the Kiwis? There's not much. The Aussies haven't been pushed at any stage.
That was Paul getting them a little closer from acting half. This is Uppity and caught in possession again. A turnover. That is their bugbear at the moment. She was pushing just a little too hard. And great communication in this Australian defensive line. Catherine Barr with the mic for this first match. We're hearing all the calls from on ground. And right now, pushing out of their own danger zone. This is Sharon Williams pushing along for Gabrielle Ma. Again, the Aussies showing their control of the speed of the game. And already into the Kiwis half, and now they pick up the tempo. New Zealand on their heels. Last play this one. 6 plays they get us through the centre. Gabrielle Ma is caught. She was just about to offload, but caught in possession.
Good pressure by the Australian team. And what about the play of balls? They are just electric. The dumps are working overtime for the Aussies.
Again, the green and gold side has covered the full length of the field in 6 plays. Well, that pass looked forward from acting half from Vanessa Coots and called. by the referee. So the Aussies get possession again close to the New Zealand line.
I'll get your referee's ticket. How good are you? How good are your eyes?
There was no doubt about it. Vanessa Coots from acting half, deliberately forward. Now Kitty Marr across with Melissa Pitfield. And this is Amanda Judd. Again, that speed is shown by the Australians. They're playing it at their pace. And look for the likes of Giselle Torrado to put the foot down. Suter scored the first touchdown from a similar position. They're spreading the ball now. Australia, the New Zealand defensive line, pushed across the width.
The Aussies are trying to commit the Kiwi defence. The New Zealanders aren't coming up out of the line, making it tough for the Aussies. They're trying to get them to come up, a quick play of the ball, and that is where the space will occur.
Well, it comes across with a scorer of the first touchdown, Suter. Trying to pick up the speed. Christy Judd on the inside. Touched on the way through. So no touchdown there. But again, they look dangerous. Suter. Kitty Marr. New Zealand defensive line under all sorts of pressure juggled there. And that was the last play of 6. New Zealand back in possession. So they counter that time. But you just wonder for how long. Nothing too adventurous when they got the ball in their hand. They try some quick passing. And now Nawati back to the left. Nawati working with Coots to get inside the Australian half. But the pass has gone to ground. Australia will come up with possession.
In your fence to face by the Aussies, working overtime, but they've got to keep the ball away from Vanessa Coots. If I was a Kiwis, you've got to get her into the attack. She's the only one that looks like making a break.
This is back with Catherine Barr. Trying a switch, but caught in possession. The quickest of roll balls caught Barr on the back foot. She almost stumbled. Now Giselle Torrado calling Sharon Williams on the inside. Again, a lovely one-handed scoop. Sharon Williams, the long ball. Australia just for a moment had a chance in the corner. Picked up again by Williams. Now 5 out from the line. A lovely pass for Catherine Barr to get the second touchdown. That's great work by the Aussies, and 2-0 the score.
Well, here it is here. Look at Sharon Williams. Just timed the pass to perfection and had to dive to get there, but it was always on. Sharon Williams, great vision.
We've seen that before in Origin touch. The dive low close to the line, it gets the cash nearly every time. And the Kiwis back with it, but down by 2 touchdowns to 0. This is uppity through the centre, but they're not working the width the same way the Aussies are close to the line. This is Coots, now up to the 5-metre line. Almost looked to push there on Coots, but the referee has ruled a voluntary roll ball, so Australia get the penalty, ruling that Coots had played the ball without being touched.
Well, that's one of the rules of touch. You cannot play the football unless you were touched. You see the players putting their hand out to make sure there's a touch. That's why.
The appeal came from the acting half, Diane Uppity. But now Australia with Jodie English and Amanda Judd. Kitty Marr, the captain, so experienced. The scoop of Amanda Judd. If she's caught in possession, the turnover, the pass is astray. But she was certainly looking to drive close to that scoreline.
Spaces appearing in the Kiwi defence. They're not moving laterally. They're not squeezing when they have to. And if they don't, the Aussies will go through on the short passes.
Right on half-time, and that is Giselle Torrado with an intercept. 3rd touchdown of the match. Can you believe that? The siren sounded the moment she put the ball down. Cruel luck for the Kiwis. Great work, Giselle Torrado. So half-time, 3 touchdowns to 0. Suter, Barr and Torrado for the Aussies. It's looking good for the home team. Stay tuned for more in the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series.
Australian coach Peter Bell was content with the way that his players handled the first half. He said their rucking is good, their defence is spot on. The only area that they could possibly put a little bit more work into is the second phase of their attack. He wants them to add a little bit of punch there. So they're leading 3-0. He's a happy man. Let's find out what's happening in the New Zealand camp.
Let's get it wider, get it to the middle, get some width in there and get some reps going on their flies. They're flying ones, get some reps. On the early plays, they're pushing on 2s. Let it go forward, let's get a centre, let's take our options. Our box play is a centre to an 11. Come on, you all know this. You're just losing it. We need to settle down.
John Rangahuna, the Kiwis coach, a little worried at half-time, and why not? The Aussies leading by 3-0, a great start to the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. This Australian side with plenty of confidence on the back of that Giselle Torrado touchdown on the stroke of half-time. Now Suda working the left side of the field. The Kiwis caught offside. So a penalty goes the way of the Australians. It all helps. It makes the job so much tougher for New Zealand.
Now, Coach John Rangahuni didn't mention it at half-time, but the Kiwis must score first.
Run around. Christy Judd working with Sharon Williams. She was outstanding in the first half. Jodie English, the quick dump for Giselle Torrado. English can't take the return pass. The setup was nice. The execution just went astray. Now the Kiwis, a drive away from their own line and a penalty there for a push. The referee not happy, a little over-aggressive play with a touch, and the Kiwis away with Yvette Saba. Another one of the quicker players in this side, the touch applied by Jodie English. New Zealand, they get a challenge inside the Aussies' half. This is Wahoney coming across field. Not able to link up there with Shortland. She was in support all the way. And back now with Emma-Jean Rangatawa.
She slow play the balls by the Kiwis. It's letting them down.
And a breakdown almost there in communication with Emma-Jean Rangatawa. They're not posing any questions to the Australians' defence as Nawati. Nice dump on the last play. Through from acting half. Rangatawa is caught in possession. Again, acting half not allowed to score. So Australia will have possession. A little bit of a letdown, the last play. I'm sure the Kiwis can improve on that set of 6 plays.
Tanya Suda showing plenty of speed. Picked up the attacking player. Not a problem. Let her go over the line. And just the easiest of touches.
Now away with Christy Judd. Australians on this drive. Rarely have they not covered the length of the field. Sharon Williams back there for Catherine Barr, speeding up the play. The Aussies get another penalty. So nothing going right for this New Zealand side. Down by 3 touchdowns to 0. And struggling to get on the board.
Australia looking to lift it too, wanting to up another gear. Quick play the balls.
That was from Melissa Pitfield. And now pushing through the centre with Catherine Barr. Stepping this time as Renee Clark. And a nice dump there from Catherine Barr. Clark with the ball. We didn't see much of Renee Clark from the first half, but she's a top quality player. And now only 5 metres out from the Kiwis line. Another chance for the Aussies. Gabrielle Marr with it. And some quick hands now. Catherine Barr close to the line. Renee Clark put down by Gabrielle Marr.
Just checking out those statistics from the first half of the game. Australia dominant in possession, 9 minutes to New Zealand's 6. Also, the Australians have notched up 4 penalties to New Zealand's 1. So that really tells the story, and it's all going to plan for the Australian team.
Amanda keeping us in touch with all the stats from the sideline. The Kiwis with their best chance. Caught diving low was Anna Richards. That's the closest they've come to scoring.
Good pass from Susie Shortland. The flick inside.
And now the roll ball with Shortland. This is Anna Richards again. Most experienced player in the New Zealand side. Can they post their first touchdown? It went back through Paul. And now with it is Wahoney. This is Diane Uppity. Some quick hands, but still not threatening the defence. Now they make the challenge. They pose the question with Wahoney. Last play now. New Zealand 5 metres from the Aussies line, but not attacking with the same speed. Kitty Marr comes up with a touch. So really a soft turnover at the end of one of their best drives of the match.
Put that down to good defence from the Australians. They are still talking like it's the first minute of the game.
Giselle Torrado got the touch from Diane Uppity. Working the short side, Amanda Judd. They continue to attack the left. This is Melissa Pitfield. Now up to halfway. Jodie English picks up the tempo. Charging straight into Marku Paul. And Australia have earned the penalty out of this. May have been a little unlucky, Paul the Kiwi. But Australia start another set of 6 plays with Jodie English.
It's easy to work out the Aussies' tactic. Dump and run until they get down to within 20 metres, and then they start to move the angles.
The floating camera in goal, tracking Sharon Williams across field. And now English looking to switch the play. They're looking to squeeze this Kiwis defence. Kitty Marr has a go. The quick dump for English. Back for Marr. Great take from Kitty Marr close to the Kiwis line. Sustained attack by the green and gold as they come left. This is Williams. She's got Melissa Pitfield on her outside. Now with Melissa Pitfield, the dump from 5 metres out. Australia looking for a 4th touchdown and their first of the half. Kitty Marr, though, caught in possession. It is a turnover on the last play, but the Aussies just starting to click into gear in this second half. So New Zealand survived that one. Chui Cardinay just stumbling there. That slippery surface not helping as the Kiwis try to come from a 3-0 deficit. And laid off there by Rangatawa. And now that was Nawati, but they just don't seem to have the pace. They don't seem to be able to find that extra gear, the Kiwis.
Well, take a look at this. In replay, the first couple of hit-ups are great. They lose their way. Second and third phase, the passes are going nowhere.
Still looking likely that the Aussies will go one up in this best-of-3 series. It's a fine start from them. 3 touchdowns in the first half. The Kiwis on the drive. They went for the scoop from Vanessa Coots. And referee has ruled offside against the Aussies. So that's a bit of a let-off. They have no doubts that Vanessa Coots had dropped the ball cold. Attacking from that 5-metre zone. Back to the right side. This is Diane Uppity. Has done some good things in the match and now trying a bit of stepping into Tanya Suter. Shui Cardenet from acting half. Now with the full width of the field to work with, but this Aussie defence so solid. 5 out from their own line. The scoop from Coots. Takahu is running the angle. The dive is unsuccessful. The Aussies get the touch in. No touchdown, but that's as close as they've gone.
Takahu was staring at touchdown number 1. But look at this. Touch, a high touch, got her across the face. She won't be happy.
It was a touchdown saver from Amanda Judd, and I think a stumble from Takahu prevented them from scoring. And now it is that player, Amanda Judd, on the drive, and that looked a forward pass from acting half. Suter starts to get moving so quickly. And now back with Kolovos. The Aussies slowing things down. They're in control of this match. Kitty Ma, touch there by Shortland. On the deck, but still able to pass. Australia continue the attack, and that was the last play. Turnover that time. Amanda Judd caught in possession. As we've seen so many times in this match, on the drive for the Aussies, 6 plays, they do work the full length of the field. Now Coots went for the roll ball. I thought it came off Kitty Ma and over the sideline, but the referee has said an Aussie ball.
Yeah, just looked too strong. Coots just flung it back. She was on the move, wanted to get it back, but just too solid.
And now with Tirado. Scored that intercept touchdown right on half-time. That was a killer blow as it turns out. Now the switching of play, you can see the pointing in the defensive line, and Yvette Saba, the number 9, did well there. Didn't commit herself to the touch. And now pushing through the centre back with Kitty Ma. A diving touch, and the referee says a New Zealand penalty. Passing after being touched. Maybe just a little unlucky, so some close calls going both ways. 3-0 that scoreline to the green and gold, but no touchdown since half-time.
Offside.
Diane Uppity earned a penalty for the Kiwis. Muddling pace again into Kitty Ma. Scooped up there by Anna Richards, one of the co-captains. Uppity slowing that pace down. They've had only one real scoring chance. Now they get another and the ball goes loose. Well, that was well worked by the Kiwis, and Diane Uppity close to the line. They're still in possession though, the Kiwis. Will this be their first touchdown? New Zealand. Anna Richards is running close to the action. Now she gets her hands on the ball and a penalty goes to the Kiwis. Offside, I think you'll find Sharon Williams, but Anna Richards, the dive was the right idea.
Take a look at this. They play the ball. Sharon Williams doesn't get both feet behind the line. She's offside. Good call by the referee, but what about a penalty try?
Well, Anna Richards dived between Renee Clark and Sharon Williams. I still think Renee Clark would have got her. But let's stay with the action. New Zealand still searching for the first touchdown. Coots a quick roll ball. Uppity from acting half, looking for a support. They get there, but just too late. Put down by Nicola Kidd. Australia will have possession.
Long way to go for the Aussies now. They are tied. They've been defending for 2 sets of 6.
New Zealand will take a lot of positives out of this second half for the remainder of the series. Full-time siren sounds. Giselle Tirado in possession. I don't think anything too fancy to finish the match. So a very professional performance in Game 1 of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. The Aussies go one up. They scored all their touchdowns in the first half. Tanya Suter, Catherine Barr and Giselle Tirado. A sneaky intercept right on half-time. Here it was. That took the Aussies to a 3-0 lead. Let's now hear from their captain, Kitty Ma.
Katrina Ma is the most valuable player from Game 1 in the series. A very proud Australian captain, no doubt.
Yeah, the girls went really well. The conditions were really difficult and we were quite surprised that we got up 3-0 at half-time, and second half we just wanted to consolidate and we did that.
Yes, great performance by Kitty Ma as we take a look at the stats, and they belie the scoreline. 15 turnovers by the Aussies and only 3 sets of 6 completed. Makes you wonder what the Kiwis did with the ball.
So the Aussies, they go 1 up in the women's. It'll be the men's turn next time round in the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. This program proudly brought to you by Saucony, the official shoe of the Australian Touch Association. Nice to have your company in Brisbane. The 1997 Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series is off and running, and today it's the men's turn to renew some old rivalries. The Aussies and the Kiwis. They first did battle way back in 1973, and the Kiwis go into this one as the defending Trans-Tasman champions. We take you into the Aussie huddle, and Scott Notley having plenty of words. Let's have a look at the Australian lineup for today.
Yes, the side dominated by Queenslanders, just 3 New South Wales players. The key, you said it, Scott Notley.
Let's hear from Craig Pearce in the Aussie camp.
Where do you think Australia will have it over New Zealand?
I think we've got like a lot of blokes know each other and stuff like that, so we've got a lot of teamsmanship, like we play well together. We've got some good ball players, we've got some good dummy half runners, things like that, so I think that's probably our scope. Our second phase player will set up things for each other, so I think that'll be the difference.
Craig Pearce there, but now the Kiwis. This New Zealand side looking confident, coached by Wayne Wallace.
Heaps of pace in the Kiwi outfit. Captain Peter Walters missed a touch, but the key, Shannon Huff, number 14.
And Peter Walters is with Amanda de Pledge.
Peter, how good would it be to beat the current world champions?
Oh, it'd be great. I mean, it's always great to beat Australia, and we haven't done that very often. But our men's especially, I think we've got a good shot at it. We've got a good crew here. We've only got 3 left from Hawaii, but we've got a lot of new, keen, enthusiastic young guys looking to be there for the next World Cup, so we're looking forward to it.
Peter Walters making reference to the 95 World Cup, only 3 survivors, and in this Aussie lineup, only 3 players from New South Wales. Mark Boland, one of those players, the captain of the Blues outfit, had first touch of the ball. And this is Stephen Murphy. A top pace start from Brindle for Australia, turning that inside. Well handled by Craig Matters.
Yeah, you're dead right. What about the pace? It is electric.
6-a-side touch in the women's. The Aussies are 1 up. Australia and the men's looking to do the same as Boland ignites, but offside was Peter Walters for New Zealand. The Aussies will retain possession. And Mark Boland calling the shots. He a former captain of this Aussie side. He was the captain back in '88. Scott Notley now the skipper.
Take it right, Bob.
And Boland calling shots early with Bob Brindle. Matters was on his inside. He's the acting half now.
Go wide, Craigie.
And switching back to the left, Notley just slowing it down a little after such a hectic start to this match. Matters working for Notley, one of the veterans. Well, a little over-aggressive were they, the Kiwis, so Australia get another penalty.
The Aussies just feeling their way at the moment, trying to draw the Kiwis off their line.
Yeah, Bob.
Matters, the dump off for Brindle, working with Notley. Boland gets to acting half. Brindle, the decoy, running at the line was Zabilo. The quick dump and batted on. No touchdown. Referee rules the Kiwis' way this time.
And lucky too. That was a try. Good hands by the Aussies. Good defence, the Kiwis.
Come on,
now
let's
out
go.
of trouble with Peter Walters, 36 years of age. He has been the captain for the past decade. This is Tormai down the short side with Alu. And the Kiwis likewise playing a very fast game. A nice dump there from Corbett.
Good work, guys. Good work.
This is a great drive from the Kiwis. Their first possession of the match. A flick by Hoff. They're still on the attack, but that is 6 plays. But a very impressive start. Matteo ended up with the ball. But the Aussies really know they're in for a contest here. They expected nothing less.
The Kiwis very quick right across the paddock.
Notley, almost a forward ball. On the fly was Boland. Changes being made in back play. The interchange working through the 12-player squad. A nice dump off there for Notley. Channeling the ball down the left side on the wraparound. Notley had to throw the pass as he was headed over the sideline.
Well, first turnover for the Australians, but Notley had to go for it. He was going into touch.
Well, this is like the opening round of a title fight. They've come out throwing punches, both teams. And the Aussies at the moment right on the attack with Neil Ward. 5 metres out. Great scoop by Pearce and Ward for Murphy. And the pass, can you believe it, has gone forward?
That is a try. The referee's got it wrong. Australia should be in the lead by 1 touchdown to 0.
Well, I don't think that's being biased. I think that was just a tough call against the Aussies. There's the ball from Ward. Well, it's a line ball, but no touchdown, according to the referee. Shannon Hoff got a push in the back as he went for the roll ball, and it's called a turnover. So decisions going against both teams. And Corey Foster inside the Kiwis half, just slowing it down with Pearce and Trent McDonald. O'Shannessy, all the squad getting involved. Now Mark Boland, 5 out from the line, pushing across field.
Referee Borg found the Kiwis offside. The Aussies just having all the luck.
Well, the Kiwis have only had 1 significant possession. In 6 plays, they found their way to the Australian score line, just couldn't convert. And now the Aussies maintaining the attack with McDonald. This time, Trent McDonald. No doubt about it, the first touchdown to the green and gold.
Oh, and isn't he happy about that? Squeezed through a narrow gap there, but good acceleration, stayed low to the ground as we take a look at it again in replay. There's the big dummy. 1 falls for it, he sneaks 2 falls for it, and he gets over.
Oh, so sweet. They fell for the first one and they fell for the second. And Trent McDonald delighted to put the Aussies 1 up. Now Walters, the Kiwis looking to hit back straight away. Arlo and Walters working, and there's an inside ball. Neil Ward gets a touch. Oh, that was crucial there for the Aussies. It would have been 1-1. Walters steering them to the left with Mark Arlo, and now they put the brakes on. The Kiwis bringing the Aussie defence off their line on the last play. Walters, with a dive, he's caught again. No touchdown. Oh, that was close. Let's go to Amanda on the sideline.
Trent, terrific. Got one on the board.
Yeah, got one early. Good to see. Get him on the back foot early. Hope to go on for now.
It's tough out there. Quick, isn't it?
Oh, very quick. They're coming up quick in defence. We just got to combat that.
How do you combat that sort of defence when it's coming out that quick?
Oh, we've got to throw more passes, get it down and get going forward.
Good one.
Thank you.
It's speed with a capital S. Look at the Kiwis in motion. Penalty this time goes to the New Zealand side. I don't think the reply is far off for the Kiwis. They trail by 1 touchdown to 0. And this is Lincoln Faliotto putting a little 2-step on, and again slowing down the line, forcing Craig Pearce into the touch. Now Matteo. He's a dangerous little player, the 7. This is Poriwa, back for Matteo on that 5-metre line, pointing, almost daring the Australian defence to have a go. It comes back for Matteo. He burrows low. Oh, this number 7. He is a beauty. Matty Matteo.
And he gets 5 off his teammate for that, but he levels up the score. Take a look at this. Goes towards him, little short stutter step, and then says, I'm going to go it alone, and he does. Low and to the line.
He had no right to score that one. In the meantime, the Aussies get their drive happening straight from the restart. Hoff ends up with it for the Kiwis. Let's hear from the touchdown scorer, Matty Matteo.
Good so far. Just starting to get our organisations running, our defence heading going and attack. Just got to calm down and get things going. But we're doing all right. Yeah.
Yards!
Sucking in the big ones, Matty Matteo. These Kiwis are prepared to play this at full throttle. On the attack again, intercept for Jason Zabilo. So the pressure off, and Zabilo gets his turn to attack. That will help the situation. They're just under assault at the moment, and then the shoulder charge on Trent McDonald. Down for the count.
Oh, heavy check, big shoulder, and he takes a dive.
Well done.
Well, I don't think he took a dive. He got the shoulder right on the point of the chin.
That was a dive.
The Aussies get the penalty. They're now inside the New Zealand half. They're working some nice balls. Brindle and Matters. Back for Brindle. Matters at acting half. It was a good dump. Exactly what is needed in this situation. We almost had a high tackle that time from Matteo up on Scott Notley.
Kiwis get physical.
Making every touch count, and Matters tries to burrow low. Great scoop from Zabilio. To the left with Brindle. That ends the 6 plays. Amanda de Pledge is on the sideline with the Aussie coach, Peter McNevin.
Peter, it's all tied up at 1-1. How do you rate the performance of the team so far?
Yeah, it's very slippery up there. The boys are finding hard with their feet, but no, we're going okay. We've just got to put a few more things together. We're not driving forward at the present time. That's our biggest problem, but we'll get there. We'll eventually get there.
A lot of rain in the lead up to this match. 1 touchdown all. Game 1 of the best of 3 in the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. And now the Kiwis working forward with Tormai. Again, slowing the pace down. Walters calling the shots for Tormai to go another 5 metres. Missed a touch. Walters. He's almost brought the game to a standstill now. Tormai gets another touch. They're working in a 2 at the moment. Last play for the Kiwis. Walters the flick. Oh, some nice touches there. It comes up on the last play in the turnover. So Australia back with it. And Craig Pearce out of their danger zone, but I've got to say, Russell, so far I've been more impressed with the Kiwis.
The Kiwis are quicker right around the paddock. Their play the balls are quicker, their dumps are quicker, their hit and drives are quicker. They are just much, much faster, and it's showing. All defences up the other end.
Holland up to halfway. You can hear the referee calling the Kiwis defence out of the play when they're offside. He's doing his best to not have to rule a penalty. Now Boland, they're only 5 metres out, a sloppy roll ball. Costly stuff from the Aussies. And New Zealand are back in possession with Faliotto.
Drive time for the Kiwis now. They've got to get up the other end.
And the big bloke in this New Zealand side is Shannon Hoff, well over the 6-foot mark. Now with Simon Rigby inside the Aussies half. The touch comes from Zabilio, but they just seem to be able to go from a standstill to top pace in a short space of time. There's the scoop again from Rigby. He was touched, but play on, says the referee. There's the support, and now the second touchdown. It's Jason Sillymaker who gets it, and New Zealand in front for the first time in the match.
Good play by the Kiwis. The Aussie defence, they're going on the backward foot. Look at this, always running backwards. There's the touch, they're offside. He gets through. Now he's got to find some support. He's just haunting them there and finds it. Just gets there, nearly goes over the in-goal touchline.
Well, nearly goes over. I reckon he had a foot on the line. Good advantage played by the referee in the first instance. Even though the player was touched, the defence was offside. Back with the Aussies and trailing by 2 touchdowns to 1. Boland for Brindle. The standoff there. Peter Walters is the one for New Zealand. Not committing himself to the touch. Now forced across field, and again some sloppy play close to the Kiwis line.
The man-on-man defence by New Zealand is spot on. No room for the Aussies.
And Russell, in fact, that is half-time, and what a good first half it's been. The opening match in the men's of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Series. For Kiwis 2, the Aussies 1. We'll take a break and come back with more from Brisbane, Perry Park.
It's a game of chess. That's how New Zealand coach Wayne Wallace described it. He told his players to get smart, to keep their options open in the second half. He's very, very pleased with their progress in the first half to be now leading, but he did tell them that it really has to come from the heart. So it was a very, very emotional huddle at half-time. I wonder how it was in the Australian team. Let's find out.
Nobody wants to drive the ball in to set. You're making it easy for them, fellas. We're changing over possession. We can't, nobody wants to ruck. Everybody wants to dish it off to somebody else. We've got to do the hard stuff first. We've got to drive forward before we go. Right, and that's our problem at the present time.
An anguished look on the face of Peter McNevin, the Aussies coach. They trail by 2 touchdowns to 1. The Kiwis in possession to start this half, but by G. Russell, it was a good first 15 minutes.
Yeah, real tight first half. The Kiwis cruising. Peter McNevin wants his players to clock on. Amanda, what are those stats?
This is the story from the first half. Australia have been in possession of the ball for 2 more minutes than New Zealand, but really the telling statistic here is the number of turnovers. Australia 6 to New Zealand 2. So there it is. That's what's happened in the first half.
6-2 the turnovers. Now matters for the Aussies and attacking with Corey Foster. They know they need to score first in the second half. Brindle is pushing them forward now. Nice scoop. Murphy's got the hand up. He had to dive to make the catch. A good effort from Steve Murphy. Almost got himself on the scorer sheet in that first half. Notley fires the ball out for Murphy. They don't come any easier. An easy stroll to the scoreline. That's touchdown number 2, and it's all square.
Scott Notley read that to a T. Watch this. Drifts back to the short side. There is just one pass, and there it is. Tight, fast, unmarked. He strolls over and levels the score.
One of the 3 New South Welshmen in the 12-man squad for game 1. Murphy gets the touchdown. The Kiwis back with John Kelly. Now Matayo, one of their 2 touchdown scorers from the first half. Hoff is the man at acting half on the last play. Caught in possession, was he? Referee has the call. He could have gone either way that time, and he has. He's ruled against the Aussies. They weren't back onside.
Corey Foster at fault there. You can see he's got his hand up in the middle of the screen there. He was the one that was offside.
So the Kiwis from the 5-metre line. Shannon Hoff. He's prepared to just walk it around for the first couple of plays. Confronted by Corey Foster. So touch 1. Now Matayo taking them across field. There's the dancing, a little jump in his work. You can't get penalised for that, can you?
The goose step in touch.
So now Matayo, another penalty against the Aussies. The Kiwis really trying to outsmart their opponents. Matayo, a quick return. He dives low again. This time he's been caught. He did that in the first half, but not that time.
Australia won't be caught the second time.
He's developing into the real danger player, Matty Matayo. Hoff takes them back. Now they will press forward. Angling inside with Silly Maker and touched. Just outside that 5-metre zone, Silly Maker almost kissing the ball when he got it. Now he sizes them up, stepping away from Brindle. He's able to put the dump off, and now they go for the one back to Silly Maker. There was a touch there, was there from Foster? No touchdown.
Oh, good play, Corey Foster. But what about Silly Maker? You can't give him any space.
Well, Silly Maker and Matayo have both shown they're capable of diving low for the scoreline. Matters. 2 touchdowns apiece. 2-1 to the Kiwis it was at half-time. Game 1 in the best of 3 for the men's, and Murphy takes off. One of the flyers in the Aussie lineup, Brindle. Working here was Zabilio down the left side. Caught by Corbett on the end of 6 plays. Kiwis back in possession. Australia have really picked up the tempo since half-time. It really is an even ball game as Hoff. Players offside in the Aussie defensive line. Penalty goes to the Kiwis.
Go in, Chongi, straight in, bud.
Straight away, they're keen to pick up the pace. Walters working forward. Hawani was in there. It comes wider there for Tormai. And back with their captain, Peter Walters.
Kiwis looking to catch Australia on the back foot. That's what they're trying to do.
When you peel back, you must go forward.
And penalty there to the Kiwis. They've got to keep coming off their line, according to referee Borg. And now back with Walters, slowing it right up. The constant chatter of the Kiwi captain. And now Jason Tormai. We're not quite sure on all the calls. I've heard the word cow, but that obviously means something to the Kiwis.
Pass it straight back to me.
Walters trying to get the Australian defence to focus on him here. Watch for it to go wide.
We made the call then. He wanted the quick pass back.
He's still setting it up around himself.
Okay.
Jason
Sit on you,
Tormai.
Links. Chuck's going to have a stiff. Let them come.
Walters wanting to basically concede a touch on that play. Now Tormai. Walters on the inside. He doesn't get the ball. Tormai pushes on. Alu for the line, and he was touched by Scotty Notley. A touchdown saver.
Yeah, well read by Notley, but Alu is injured. He's off.
Alu in trouble. This is the last play for the Kiwis. Walters the flick. Tormai looking for a third touchdown. Some nice hands, and at the end of it, a challenge from Murphy leaves one of the Kiwis down.
Crunch. Murphy comes in, stops the movement of the ball.
That's Mark Alu to the bench, so some problems. They're down by 1 in their 12-man squad. And Walters again calling Tormai through. They're working as a double act. Quick hands there for Poriwa, but no touchdown. Again, caught on the line, Neil Ward, the miracle man for the Aussies.
That's 3 saves to Neil Ward. Great work.
Australia in a bit of bother. O'Shannessy and Murphy and Brindle.
Yes, sir.
Some quick hands, but the drive not coming straight through the centre. The Kiwis have the Aussies contained, and then Australia concede a penalty. The match is starting to turn back the way of the Kiwis.
Rolling the ball back without being touched. Great attacking opportunity for the Kiwis.
A call coming from the Aussie line that there's blood coming from the knee of Walters. It's been picked up by the referee, so he's off to the blood bin. Some smart work by the Aussies, getting the playmaker off the field, if only for a short space of time.
Oh, shrewd tactics by Australia. He is the key, though. Everything revolves around Walters.
So Tormai, the roll ball for Hoff. And Poriwa and back for Hoff. And Tormai, he's picked up the talk with the captain off the field. The touch came from O'Shannessy. Australia defending their own line. Hoff with Poriwa. And coming back, Hawani is looking to make a run, but caught in possession. And some urgency now from the Aussies. They didn't hand over possession straight away, so they get the springboard for this 6 plays, and there should be another one. Well, the Kiwis, they're helping out the Aussie cause.
You're going for time, mate. It's the second time.
Well, he's got the sin bin for David Hawani.
No touch, mate. Go.
Hawani can't believe it. Hard touch on Brenton O'Shannessy. What about that, Russell?
Oh, come on, referee Borg. This is a test match. They're only getting acquainted. Unbelievable.
6 on 5 now. The Aussies with the advantage, and Matters. It comes wide. Forced there by Pearce, but knocked down. That extra man now has to be such a big advantage at 2-all. The rain is coming down. Will that level things up?
Well, with the weather like it is and one man off, the next team to score a touchdown will be the winner.
It's numbers.
Matters. He's finding it hard to keep his footing.
Get it wide.
There with McDonald and back with Matters. Trying to find the extra man. They've coughed up possession. Craig Pearce.
That's just what the Kiwis want. While they've got a man off the field, they need to have possession.
And now New Zealand will Poriwa.
Exactly. Let's
go, Hoff.
Good stuff.
10 inside their own half. Setting a muddling pace for the Australian defence. Now they push forward. Shannon Hoff having his impact on this game in the second half. He was caught in possession there, but he's starting to threaten. That's Mark Alu on the bench in a bit of pain. A leg injury. And the Aussies, 6 against 5, and that ball thrown forward.
Craig Matters will not be happy about that. Look how close. A perfect attacking opportunity, and they cough up the ball with only 5 defenders against them.
David Hawani trying to keep warm on the sideline, serving his penance. And now Walters, he is back out there with Matayo. You somehow think between Walters and Matayo, if the Kiwis are to score, it will come from those 2 players. Walters from acting half and back for Matayo. The ball hit the deck. The Aussies will have possession. Let's go to the sideline.
A few war wounds coming through at the moment, so it's obviously shows the intensity of the game.
Occasionally you get a little bit of contact collision, and that's what takes place. A little bit of blood, a little bit of a knock on the thigh, and a little Charlie horse, and goes numb for a while, so you've got to get the ice on it as soon as possible.
But no major problems?
Not at the moment. We'll check them out there at the end of the game and see what's taking place. Okay?
Thanks.
We head into the final seconds. Oh, gee, it's got dark here. The rain is heavier than ever now as it comes for Corbett. Great scoop there by Kelly. Stepping. Not easy in these conditions. Now, the full-time siren has sounded, but he has ruled a penalty to the Kiwis. But I sense we're not far off a drop-off.
Well, that's right, as we see their last chance. 2-all the scoreline.
Go forward, Cause.
And Jason Tormai is with it. This is the last play of regular time. And there's the touch. So now we will start the drop-off. Caught in possession was Michael Corbett. 2 touchdowns all.
The game will start with 5 players aside. That's drop-off. And then every 2 minutes they will lose a player. And from here on in, it is sudden death touch.
They can go as low as 3 men aside. The Aussies with first possession in driving rain here at Perry Park. What a great start to the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series for the men's. And the Aussies make the first error. It was Bobby Brindle. And the Kiwis, well, haven't they done well just to hang on in this match when they were down to 5 men? That time a challenge as Alu is back on the field. How did he get back out there? It's all hands on deck for New Zealand.
I got the next one.
And the rain just keeps getting heavier.
Yards, come
Going
on,
to be
Manny,
tough.
yards.
Ball handling and being able to move on this pitch is going to make it very difficult for the
Come
winner.
wide, sir.
And back with a 7, Matteo. There's that little jump again. Now David Hoani from acting half. He can't score on his own. Now, was he touched by Jason Zabilio? Referee is saying he was, so the changeover goes the way of the Aussies. Acting half caught in possession, and now they will lose another player per side. It'll be 4 on 4.
Yes, no touchdowns in the first extra time drop-off. How many will we get down to? We can go to 3.
Matters pushing forward for the Aussies.
Great play, Craigie.
Playing the pressure's really on now, isn't it?
Still the same as the start of the game.
What did you say to the boys?
Just control it, get the yards down there, and it'll happen.
Well, hang on a second, because the Kiwis are now making their run. Shannon Hoff runs the angle. Bobby Brindle has slipped over. And Hoff has the match winner. The Kiwis go one up in the series. 3-2 full time.
Oh, they'll be celebrating this one. It was a fantastic bit of play. Super break to begin with. He could kiss aboard that man. And look at this. Bobby Brindle hits the deck as Huff comes back inside. Scott Notley can't come in to take him quick enough. Dances into space. Hand in the air already. They know they're on a winner. That is it.
What a finish that is to the opening match. Shannon Hoff, the match-winning touchdown, and here's our most valuable player.
The New Zealand captain must be particularly proud at the moment.
Oh, definitely. I mean, our young guys really come through. We had to really guts it out, especially in the drop-off. Really happy with the guys. Good start for us.
It gets pretty tense when it comes down to drop-off, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, geez, everyone's so quick and so skilled. I mean, you know, just got to hope you make the right decision on defence.
One up for Peter Walters and his New Zealand side as we take a look at the stats. 12 turnovers by Australia and just 4 sets of 6 completed. 9 by New Zealand. They did more with the ball.
Well, plenty more action still to come in the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series from Perry Park in Brisbane. It's bye for now. This program proudly brought to you by Saucony, the official shoe of the Australian Touch Association. This program proudly brought to you by Saucony, the official shoe of the Australian Touch Association. Welcome again to our coverage of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. We're at Perry Park in Brisbane for Game 2 of the Women's Best of 3 Series. The Aussies lead this series 1-0. They won the opening match by 3 touchdowns to 0, and all 3 of the Aussie touchdowns came in the first half. The first to Tanya Scooter-Suter, a solo effort leaving the Kiwi defence grasping at thin air. The second to Catherine Barr, a spectacular dive to score. And then the final touchdown of the first half, an intercept, snaffled by the flyer Giselle Tirado. That made it 3-0 to the Aussies.
1, 2, 3. Aussies!
Now we prepare for Game 2. Russell Fairfax, the Aussie lineup.
2 new faces in the Aussie team. Angela Barr and Justine Smith make their first appearance.
Well, Amanda DePledge is on the sideline again. She's with the Australian coach, Peter Bell.
Peter, the girls took up the first one 3-0. Any change in the tactics for the second game?
Well, we've changed a couple of players to give share the workload around. We thought we just played a little bit slow. We thought we had touchdowns on the board in the first half, and therefore we slowed down to their pace in the second half.
Now to the Kiwis. They must win here in driving rain to keep the series alive.
They've also added 2 new faces. Colleen McElroy and Yvette Saba come into the Kiwi squad.
Now back to Amanda with one of the New Zealand stars, Emma-Jean Rangatawa.
Just how much pride is on the line?
A lot of pride. When you're representing your country, there's nothing more important in sport. So, yeah, there's a lot of pride. The people back home, our supporters, everyone, we're doing it for them as well as ourselves.
Emma-Jean Rangatawa, the words that apply to so many sports in trans-Tasman rivalry. It really does mean something for the Kiwis if they can knock over the green and gold. And this first drive of the match for New Zealand, history is against them. They have never beaten the Australian side. They need to win here to level the series. Right now with Uppity on their first drive of the match, Waihoni. And now a bit of a step from Cartane. They're on the 5-metre line. Last play of this first set in the match, and acting half is caught, so automatically the turnover. And Australia withstanding what was a fairly, well, an unadventurous start to the match from New Zealand.
They did what they wanted to do. They held the ball for 6 touches. Unfortunately, you can't get away from Giselle Torado, and the lady from dummy half was no chance to scoot away from her.
Now Kitty Ma working the left side of the field. This is Jodie English, scooping up nicely for Sharon Williams to get inside the Kiwis half. Kitty Ma, the number 7, is a player you're going to see plenty of. A nice stamp there from Christy Judd for Melissa Pitfield and put down by Kitty Ma. So first error by the Aussies.
Good chance there for Australia. They had an overlap out wide, just couldn't capitalise.
Again, we've got players mic'd up in this match, so you'll hear all the on-ground communication. And the New Zealand side, slippery conditions here at Perry Park as Paul runs the right side of the field, and you can see the interchanges in the background. Frantic activity from the sideline. That will continue throughout the match. And now right on halfway, this will be their last play in this set. So Australia back in possession. Again, the Kiwis would be a little disappointed with the 6 plays as now Tanya Suter, one of the touchdown scorers from game 1. Torado working across the left side of the field. The Australians easing themselves into the game as Jodie English attacks the centre of the field. Easy meters made by the Australians. Now Suter. This is a better drive. Jodie English, such an impressive player for New South Wales and her country, and a chance for a first touchdown as they ran wide with Amanda Judd. And now back with Angela Barr. The defence must move off their line. It comes wide, the pass astray. So again, a second handling error by the Aussies. They would be a little disappointed with that.
Let's get wider off the ruck, okay? Wider off the ruck, wrap out a dummy half. Let's do some work out there.
New Zealand looking to score their first touchdown of the series. Running with Nicola Kidd. Out of trouble now with Vanessa Coots. Quick dump. This is better play from the Kiwis. Getting the drive, controlling the speed. Again, Vanessa Coots on the scoop. Now pushing to the right side. Nawati. No acting half there. Coots had to do a little scamper to get to the position. And now the last touch for the Kiwis and what has been their best drive of the match. This is Rangatawa. Some quick hands there from Takahu, and slipping was Coots. In the touch coming up from Tanya Suter, and now an appeal, and the penalty goes the Australians' way. You can't toss away the ball. So the Aussies back in possession and a little leg up to start this set of 6 plays. Working a narrow left side of the field, English, Suter. They continue to attack the left, Gabrielle Marr. And now Suter back across the park. You can hear the call of urgency from the Kiwi defence. And the Australians are going to test them right out here. They will look to run the angle. Sharon Williams takes them across field. Torado, the right player to run the angle inside, but caught that time. Now 5 metres out, Catherine Barr. They float the pass inside, only just touched with Sharon Williams.
And the lady doing it, Soma Takahu. What a good touch, prevents a certain touchdown.
Williams thought she was home to the scoreline. Now the Kiwis, they return serve. Dorado comes up with a touch. Anna Richards, one of the co-captains of the Kiwis lineup. Plenty of experience, and now the run for the corner. I'll tell you what, New Zealand have their first touchdown. All the way with Janie Waihoni. They just opened up.
What a great touchdown, just the sort of confidence booster the Kiwis needed, but put that one down to Anna Richards. It was a super pass. A nice big wide one, really stretched the Australians' defence. There's the pass now, look at that, and put Wahoney into open space. It was just a matter of whether she could get there or not, and she showed she had the pace, a desperate dive, but that's one up for the Kiwis.
A touchdown to one of the younger members of this Kiwi squad, just 20 years of age, and New Zealand have themselves in front for the first time in the series. Amanda Judd working the right side now, the Aussies. They will be stung into action, conceding that first touchdown. Now Marr. Nice pick up there from Judd. Running, acting half. Must get rid of the ball. Does so. Here comes a touchdown. Oh, cool head from Christy Judd. Australia have it with Pitfield, and it's 1-1.
Well, wonderful strike by the Australians. They hit back pretty much almost after the Kiwis touchdown. And we see it now. Christy Judd goes from dummy half. She can't score. She's got to find some help. Long ball out to Melissa Pitfield. No one at home except Melissa. Down goes the ball. It's 1-1.
Melissa Pitfield barely had to move to score the touchdown. So 1-1. And now Anna Richards for the Kiwis. Coming to the left side with McElroy. Nice dump for Richards. McElroy has switched to the left and now has a dive for the corner. She was touched on the way through. But a nice attempt from Colleen McElroy. And again, Richards is proving the strike player.
Look, she was never going to get there. Well covered the whole time. She tried to stay low to the ground but was never going to score a touchdown.
Australia back with it. Kitty Marr coming back to the centre of the field. Angela Barr. There's the scoop from Kitty Marr. Again, acting half must be able to pass. She was caught in possession. New Zealand are back with it. The two captains certainly involved in this match. And New Zealand at 1-1. Repeating the equation for them. They must win this match to square the series, having lost game one by 3 touchdowns to 0.
Well, there's an indiscretion by Giselle Torrado, knocking the ball down. Instant penalty plus 10 metres.
I'm sure the New Zealand coach, John Rangahuna, would be a happy man with his team thus far, but it would be nice if they can score coming up to half-time. Across field now, Susie Shortland turning inside there for Vanessa Coots. There's the scoop. It comes back. A hand was in there as Nawati went to pass. Thrown forward, says the referee.
Good decision by the referee. Got some help from his touch judges.
Now Australia with Tanya Suter. Kitty Marr was the acting half. Australia 10 metres inside their own territory, but not for long. Gabrielle Marr straightening up. Now they get the drive on with Suter. They're inside the New Zealand half. This is Justine Smith. Slowing the pace down again. Amanda Judd has switched for English. And that almost looked forward there. The pass from Judd on to Justine Smith. Smith is back with it. She finds Judd. She can't handle.
Slippery conditions forcing the pass. Australia has come unstuck.
Well, a let-off here for the Aussies, though. They've ruled Colleen McElroy was offside. So Australia will get 6 plays to attack this New Zealand scoreline. So we get started again with Jodie English. Certainly more drop ball from the Aussies in this match than there was in game one. And you can hear still plenty of communication in the New Zealand defence. Jodie English from acting half. Vanessa Coots comes off the line. English pass was a good one. Suter picked up again by English. Suter can't handle. New Zealand will have possession.
Strong in-your-face defence from the Kiwis. That was good stuff. But again, they've given away a penalty.
The referee very strict on this Kiwi line. Can they hold out the green and gold? This is Gabrielle Marr. The switch that time with Melissa Pitfield. Quick dump from Justine Smith. Now they take off with Pitfield, and caught was Sharon Williams on the way through. She ran from deep.
Short ball from Williams, but she was covered all the way.
Now Jodie English. She's having an impact now as they get close to this New Zealand scoreline. Scooped up by Sharon Williams. Again, they can't handle. The challenge had come from Cynthia Nawati. But would you believe it, the referee again has ruled New Zealand offside. So Australia will get another 6 plays. This is relentless for the Kiwi defence at the moment.
You've got to keep both feet behind the line, 1 foot in front of the line, and you are offside. That's what the Kiwis have been guilty of.
Christy Judd for Marr inside. It almost opened up. A touch there from Susie Shortland. That completes the first half, and a good half it's been. 1-1 the score. Janie Wahoney for the Kiwis got the first touchdown. The reply from Melissa Pitfield. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Welcome back. This is the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. Half-time in Game 2 of the women's. It is 1-1. The Aussies with a greater share of possession from the first half, but plenty of turnovers. 6-3. Amanda de Pledge has been in the huddles of both teams.
Peter Bell is a satisfied man. John Rangihuna is too. He's particularly pleased with the way New Zealand have gone in the first half. He said their defence is good, their commitment is really, really strong. All he wants them to do is to really try and boost their yardage in the second part of this game. So a great result so far for New Zealand. He said it's the best chance they've ever had to beat the Australian women.
So a bit of confidence about the Kiwi challenge for the second half of Game 2. They must win to level the series at 1-1. And Australia with the first drive of the second half, and Jodie English coming to the left. Giselle Torrado, who just had a possession then, a little quiet in that first half. This is Tanya Suter.
Well, Australia needs to do something in this first few minutes of the second half, and that is to hold the ball for sets of 6. They only completed a couple in the first half. They need to put a string together.
Now Torrado from acting half. Was she touched on the way through? She was. So New Zealand will have the ball. They only just got her, though. It was just a glimpse of the speed that Giselle Torrado possesses. Of course, she scored, well, a soul-breaking touchdown in the first game, an intercept just before half-time in Game 1. Now Anna Richards driving out for Vanessa Coots. The Kiwis playing with a little more urgency to start this second half, and a big break there for Cardenay. Chewy Cardenay found 20 or 30 metres. Nice turn of speed. The Kiwis, their heads held high at the moment. Tanya Suter comes up with a little bit of an over-aggressive touch as the Kiwis come back to the left. This is Summer Takahu. The scoop with Diane Uppity from acting half. Jodie English, cool in defence. Makes the touch. Turnover again the Aussies' way.
Acting dummy half, caught in possession. It's an instant turnover. That's what happened then.
Jodie English has been an inspiration in this match. There she was at acting half for Tanya Suter to hit the line at speed. Now again with Pitfield, and Suter attacking the right with Kitty Ma. This is a very impressive drive from the Aussies at great speed. Kitty Ma was the acting half. They continue to roll forward, the Aussies. Are they threatening for a second touchdown? Caught in possession was Justine Smith. Gabrielle Marnow, 5 metres out from the line. The pass is loose. The gap was certainly there.
That was a power drive by the Australians. They went all the way. Justine Smith just unfortunate with that last pass, but the Aussies really on fire.
Justine Smith looked like she could have just about strolled through the gap to score. And now back with Vanessa Coots for the Kiwis. Swarming defence from the Australians. That was Justine Smith coming up quickly on Cynthia Nawati.
Solid defence by the Aussies. They want to keep the Kiwis to a shutout in this second half. No tries. They want to end the game defensively with them being shut out of the match.
Vanessa Coots gave the stare on the previous play. The last touch, it was rather untidy, and that will be a turnover.
No control on the play of the ball. That's the reason for the penalty.
So Australia back with it. Angela Barr from acting half. This is Amanda Judd. Again, they will control the pace at the start of their 6 plays. Kitty Ma a quick dump. Now they'll get a move on. Amanda Judd coming across field. Dumps it off there. The scoop from Justine Smith. They continue to press forward now. The Australians with Amanda Judd. They're looking to break the deadlock of 1-1. And the Kiwis, as they were in the first half, penalised any number of times, defending their own scoreline. So the pressure is really on. Justine Smith. They come out with Angela Barr. They've got a full set of 6 plays to work with. Kitty Ma. Still 1-1 in Game 2 of the series. Back with Kitty Ma, captain of this side, with Tanya Suter. Now the switch. It's with Amanda Judd. She picks up the speed. Ma does well. Well, she's not the tallest player on the side, but she got up high to take that pass. The Australians just outside that 5-metre zone. Back with Kitty Ma. You can see they're working the Kiwi defence left and right, really making them work, as now Tanya Suter thought she was through. And back for the roll ball. Still on that 5-metre line. Now Sharon Williams heads across field. Is there a gap there this time? The Kiwis make sure of it with a double touch.
Not happy about it, Sharon Williams.
This New Zealand defence is outstanding. This Australian side had no trouble posting 3 touchdowns in Game 1 in the first half. And now Kitty Ma on the wraparound. Is there a chance now? Suter. There's support there. Suter goes the dive. She was touched.
Caught in midair. Good touch.
Kiwis really lifting. So much pride at stake, and now they force the error from the Australians. That is superb work from New Zealand.
Great touch by Imogene Rangatawa there. You just saw her get touched.
And now Nicola Kidd. There is no let-up in the speed of the game. New Zealand are back to halfway. Nicola Kidd is the acting half. This New Zealand side, they posted the first touchdown through Janie Wahoney. They need an individual burst right now. Diane Uppity gets them inside the Aussies half. The mud comes flying up. The rain has eased, but conditions still very difficult for the players.
I'm right here.
And that time it was Diane Uppity who fell victim to a slippery playing surface. Australia with it. On halfway, it comes back for Justine Smith. She dumps it off here for Catherine Barr. To the left with Giselle Tirado. You still feel she's going to put a stamp on the match. She's at acting half. There's the scoop from Tirado. Now the speed. Acting half can't score, but Australia should score in the corner. Tanya Suter. Beautifully worked play by the green and gold. It all boiled back to Giselle Tirado.
What about Tirado and the Suter combination? It is a treat. Look at this. Giselle Tirado over the shoulder. David Campese, eat your heart out. Long ball out to Suter, and Suter unopposed. That's a good play.
And Suter, her second touchdown of the series. And this one gets the Aussies in front 2-1. Now the Kiwis, McElroy and Richards. Straight away the urgency is there. Rangatawa, ball comes left. Covered up nicely in defence by Angela Barr. So Australia will have possession. Now, can they retain this lead? And better still, can they come up with a touchdown that would just about be the knockout blow to New Zealand? Kitty Marr with Barr. That's Catherine Barr. 3 sets of sisters in the Australian side. Kitty Marr gets it inside the Kiwis half. Another good drive. It comes from Amanda Judd. This is Melissa Pitfield. And now Christy Judd. Approaching that 5 metre line, there was a call of play on, and New Zealand caught offside.
Mark.
So how many times has that been in this match? The Kiwis in that danger zone, trailing by 2-1. Now a slow up from the Aussies.
Well, Australia backing away a bit, trying to draw the Kiwis out off their line. Once they do that, once they draw one out of the line, it's an opportunity to run some angles and get behind the defensive line. That's what Australia's looking to do.
And get the speed players close to the action. Amanda Judd runs across field. They came back to the left in an error. So New Zealand will have possession. Christy Judd unable to get a handle on that pass, but New Zealand must start this set of 6 plays from their own goal line. This is Emma-Jean Rangatawa. Touched by Gabrielle Marr. Left side with Samata Kahu. Now Anna Richards. The Aussie defence compressed at the moment. Vanessa Coots, a nice scoop there. New Zealand, bit of speed, a play on call. And here they go to the scoreline. This is Tamaku Paul, and that is 2-all. That opened up Tamaku Paul down the right side with plenty of speed.
Fantastic play by the Kiwis. Put that one down to Vanessa Coots. It was scoot and run from her. Look at that. It looks like a touch there, but she's offside. The referee says play on. Coots sends a super ball out to DeMarco Paul, and she has the pace to get there. The Kiwis are back in it.
22-year-old Tamaku Paul. 2-all with that touchdown for the Kiwis. We could be headed for a drop-off. As now Australia with a run down the right side. Melissa Pitfield can't handle. This Kiwi side, knowing they must win to square the series. It is a desperate situation for them. And if they do win, in the process, they will create history. Their first ever win over the Aussies in the women's. Now Vanessa Coots, instrumental in the previous touchdown. Uppity, right side with Shortland. Inside the Aussies half. Vanessa Coots again, getting herself involved in this match. The number 13 down the right side. That was Colleen McElroy. Haven't the Kiwis lifted?
Yeah, they certainly have, but what about the touch by Angela Barr? Had her in control all the way there. Mistouch, and it is the Kiwis' ball game. But good defence by Australia.
Coots, the acting half, caught in possession. Australia get another chance at 2-all in game 2.
Not back to you. What's the pushing? There it is.
Called quite open there from the referee for pushing against the Kiwis' defence. Amanda Judd gets this drive started. Now, Justine Smith pushing along with Sharon Williams. It's back with Williams right now. And Australia edging closer. A tense part of the match at 2-all.
You're 4. Keep out of it, please.
Referee very strict. Again, offside against the Kiwis. Double figures the count in this match for that same offence. Australia on that 5 metre line, out from the Kiwi score line. Long pass there from Gabrielle Marr. Well, it must have touched a Kiwi hand, surely. Australia will get another 6 plays. Susie Shortland. Plenty of tension on her face. As now, Sharon Williams, a 2-all, the switch of play for Justine Smith. Wide ball with Kitty Marr. Trying to ignite something here for the Aussies. Williams again back to the right side. Williams at acting half. Kitty Marr turning and passing with Gabrielle Marr. Now we have the floating camera in goal. You can see the pressure on the New Zealand defence. Susie Shortland is being run left and right. She comes up with a touch. Australia, there's a long ball. Still no overlap created. And back to that 5-metre line. Now Jodie English is on for the Aussies. Picked up there by Sharon Williams. Inside comes Marr. Can they get the game-breaking touchdown? Intercept. Emma Jean Rangatawa, acrobatic.
Yes, looked really good. We take a look at this again in replay. You'll see there's a foot right on the touchline. The linesman there signals to the referee, Australia ball, and even more pressure for the Kiwis.
And Jodie English is with it. Nice scoop there from Sharon Williams, just about the player of the match in this game. Kitty Marr couldn't handle the return pass. Kiwis with it. 2-all the score. 1-0 to the Aussies in the series. Coots, and they go forward with Shortland. And then just knocked out of their hands, a penalty to the Kiwis. Oh, that's easy work for 10 metres. Restart of play. Coming up to full time, it does appear we're headed to the drop-off. Coots. And this is Shortland again. Leading them a dance. She just floated the pass up, made it hard for Coots. She couldn't handle. That's full time. The end of regulation time. 2-2 the score, and Russell, we're headed for the drop-off.
Well, the drop-off, they lose one off their team of 6. They'll start with 5, then every 2 minutes, they'll lose another player.
So they start with 5-on-5. And Australia with possession. Tanya Suter. Nice scoop there from Melissa Pitfield. Suter. And then across with Christy Judd. Dumps it off there for Giselle Torrado from acting half. She needs support. She couldn't find it. New Zealand will have the ball.
And this is sudden death touch. Soon as she scores, the game is over.
And if it is Australia to score first, that will be the series.
On for me.
So just a temporary hold-up in play as the drop-off takes effect. It'll be 4-on-4. Put yourself in the player's position now. 4 players to defend the width of 50 metres. It is a mad scamper, and the Kiwis get the roll on. Wahoni pushed to the ground. That might have been a bit of gamesmanship in that, as Waihoni was slipping, and then English comes in with a push. That slowed up the play when the Aussies were in trouble.
Yeah, good play, good gamesmanship by Jodie English. The smallest woman on the field, a little bit of a shove, lost her footing, gave Australia a chance to reset the defensive line.
Still 4-on-4. First scorer will win. And scooped up now for Suter. Full of running still at this point of the match. They hit it up with Gabrielle Marr. She'll make 10 metres. Now Jodie English. Where is the touchdown going to come from? Sharon Williams is looking for support. She decides to skip out Williams with a pass. And now back closer to the line on the last play. Sharon Williams, Coots in defence, makes the touch, but she was offside.
Yeah, the Kiwis offside again. Now we're going to see even more pressure. There's the touch. Vanessa Coots was the girl in trouble.
Well, here comes the touchdown for the Aussies. It's Suter to Jodie English, and baby, it is all over. 3-2 to Australia, and they win the series in game 2.
Yeah, fantastic play. Just a set of quick hands by the Australian side, and who better to score the try than Jodie English?
So 3-2 it is in game 2. Jodie English gets the touchdown in the drop-off when it was 4-on-4. Our most valuable player. What a proud day for Tanya Suter, all the way from Mount Isa.
Take a look at the stats. They belie the scoreline. 11 turnovers by Australia and only completed 4 sets of 6.
So game 2 of the women's is by the board. Next up it will be the men's turn. Great game in the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. Until next time, it's bye for now. This program proudly brought to you by Saucony, the official shoe of the Australian Touch Association. The two strongest nations in the sport of touch and international television audience. The crowd is on edge as we welcome you to Perry Park in Brisbane for Game 2 of the men's and a chance for that men's crown to be decided. Game 1 went to the Kiwis 3-2 and a drop-off. Let's see how the Aussies fare in their bid to square the series.
Down 2-3 in the first game. Australia must win this one. Out comes Scott Notley. He leads his boys out into the paddock, and there has been a couple of changes. Corey Foster is gone, and the veteran Mark Boland. 5 and 6 are the two new players.
Let's hear the thoughts of the Aussie coach Peter McNevin heading into Game 2.
Very crucial, yeah. We know we've got to win this one. Yeah, I'm relaxed because we feel very good about it. All the guys feel really good about it, so we know what to do, so they're out there, they're going to do the job.
Lots of support for the home team, but also for the Kiwis as they head into Game 2.
Successful in Game 1, the Kiwis have made no changes to their lineup.
One of their key players is the number 6, Kenny Pariwa. We caught up with him earlier.
Because the team's relaxed as well. We've got quite a relaxed atmosphere within the team, and we have a few jokes, and I guess we try to do that so we don't worry about the game, and that's where all the nervousness starts building up. But we've got a few guys that are like experienced players like Peter Walters and that sort of help us along.
A laid-back approach from the Kiwis. I think the nerves would be just going a little at the moment. We've had the fireworks, we've had the dancing girls, and now the show begins for New Zealand and Australia, the fiercest of rivals. The Kiwis on the first drive of the match with Mark Alu, and already showing the speed. This is Silly Maker. And their stars from Game 1 stumbling in the slippery conditions. Brindle got the touch in.
Jay, run in here now, run in here now.
Back for Peter Walters. Russell, this was a feature of Game 1, the way they constantly muddle the pace of the game.
Yeah, the Kiwis are good at that, but the conditions are ideal for touch tonight. Pretty still sort of an atmosphere, a little bit slippery as you can see there, and they'll have to pay attention to their ball handling.
Australians with their first possession, Trent McDonald, and a drive straight up the centre, Neil Ward. And now with Bob Brindle, they're inside the New Zealand half, Craig Matters. Deciding to pursue an attack down the right side with Brindle, 5 touches up. This is Brenton O'Shannessy turning, Jason Sillymaker around, now Trent McDonald. He was touched on the way through, I think it was Simon Rigby.
Trent McDonald running on the angle, but he's thrown the ball away, and the referee has penalised him, so the Kiwis getting a bit of a bonus.
Just a touch of petulance from Trent McDonald, enabling the Kiwis to go on the attack. Sillymaker has been busy.
On me.
And now Peter Walters, most experienced player, I dare say, in the world of touch. And now another penalty for the Kiwis. So a leg up to start this match. They're deep inside the Aussies' half. That was Shannon Hoff. You'll see plenty of him.
Cannot be too aggressive.
Listen, Tormai. Walters again.
Sorry about that, Mark. Sheesh.
Plenty of talk from both sides, attack and defence.
Get out, Trent!
It's back with Falioto. And now Kenny Pariwa. A little bit of a dancing contest going on close to the line. Pariwa dives low. Well, did they get the touch? Craig Pearce did. No touchdown.
Yeah, good tactics by the Kiwis. They're trying to get the Australians offside. They've got to move back and put both feet behind the line to get back the required distance. The Australia just did it then while the dive was on, trying to catch them unawares.
The dive low was almost a winner for Pariwa, the number 6.
Yeah.
And now Jason Tormai, not handled by Shannon Hoff. Well, what's the referee ruled there? Some interference from Trent McDonald. The Kiwis maintain possession. Jason Tormai. Shannon Hoff.
Yellow must go.
Hoani. The Aussies must keep coming back off their line. Back for Hoff.
Don't back pedal, make
A
it.
dummy for the switch.
Up yellow, up.
Jumping and weaving as if he's in the boxing ring.
Darren,
David
out,
Hoani
get out.
with Shannon Hoff. They will set themselves for the next play. Hoff, he takes off and dies low and caught. But it will be a penalty to the Kiwis. The Australians not coming off their line. Watch it again. Well, there's no doubt about the touch, but they had stood firm on their own scoreline.
Well, what happens, you cannot have a Mexican standoff. You cannot wait for the line to come to you, the attack to come to you. Defence has got to get off their line and get out and meet the players.
Well, on the turnover, Australia back with it. They've had to withstand some pressure in the opening to this match. No score. Now Scott Notley, the captain, driving centre field. Shane Rigby for Brindle. Notley, the acting half, a little messy, the roll ball. And referee ruling on that.
Hold for the half. Roll the ball.
New Zealand in possession. Good crowd in here at Perry Park for the night action of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Series. The Australian women wrapping up their series, winning game 2. And now the Aussie men's looking to square the series with the Kiwis. Here's Matteo. Picked up by Walters, then for Matteo. Well, he got sandwiched. No touch in that, it was full body contact.
What about the touch that time from Scott Notley? Coming in from the blind side and cleaned him up.
So still with New Zealand, the long pass, and there's it handled, it is. Diving for the line was Michael Corbett, but I think the touch on may have been forward.
Is this tackle or is this touch? What about this one? Crunch!
As diving low was Stephen Murphy. Gee, I thought the Australians may have been a little lucky there. They're back in possession now with Brindle and Notley calling the shot. Straight down the centre again. A good drive here from the Aussies with Matters. Lovely dump off for Bob Brindle. The Kiwis caught offside, no doubt about that. And it's the speed of the Aussies' play that has them on the back foot. They will slow it down.
Take it left!
Craig Matters.
Take it left! B+.
Peter Walters is the man calling the shots in defence for the Kiwis.
Stay back.
He wants a big defensive set here. Nice scoop there by Brindle. Brindle, that man was offside, the number 7, and O'Shannessy. Touchdown time for the Aussies. Brent O'Shannessy gets the green and gold. 1 up.
Scott Notley called the move. It was a B+, but Bobby Brindle, take the bow for this, goes straight towards Matteo. He's offside, shoots the long ball out, catches Hoff on the deck, and over he goes. And what about the body language?
Oh, from Shannon Hoff, shaking his head on the deck. What about you? You've done your homework. You've called the B+. One of the Aussies' moves. Now the Kiwis will know what it's all about for game 3. New Zealand in possession with Stefan Tiamo. Bringing it centre field. The Aussies just standing back here. The softest of touches from Pearce.
Now.
Peter Walters.
Give it to him down here. Split that way.
Let them split one way.
Still on.
No touch there.
Go left.
You get a great idea of the tension when the Aussies defend. What a ball from Walters for Matty Matteo. Oh, that's as good as you'll ever see.
That is a fantastic piece of touch. It's a play that you may never see again. And what about the pass? It hits him right in the breadbasket, goes left, comes back, shoots it from behind him. Oh, what a pass. What a touchdown.
Well, the Aussies were disputing if Matty Matteo had actually forced the ball, but the pass, it certainly deserved a touchdown. I haven't seen better. And now Scott Notley. The Aussies on the attack. Plenty of feeling in this battle, as you expect when the trans-Tasman rivals meet. That's Craig Pearce dumping off quickly. Switch of play there from David Raper, knocked down by Peter Walters. Just reminding you about Peter Walters, he's 36 years of age. He's been captain of this New Zealand side since 1987. So he'd have plenty of old scores to settle.
Yeah, mate. B+.
Outstanding talent.
Quick, Craigie.
And this is Craig Pearce. The Aussies 5 metres out with Raper. Quick hands for Matters. Raper acting half, not caught in possession. Matters back with it. Nice switch of play. The Aussies, the hurdle. Scott Notley, captain for captain, coming up with superb play.
Great switches of play here by the Australian side. What about the dive? That's the thing I want to see. Watch Notley dive. He is suspended in mid-air. First of all, there's the change of direction. Watch him, suspended, over he goes, and just beats the despairing dive.
He clears 2.2 metres, Scott Notley, in scoring the touchdown for the Aussies. So, 2-1 to Australia, and they need to win this match to square the series. Back with Shannon Hoff. It's been a match played at either end. Within a zone of 10 metres out from each scoreline. Slipping was Jason Tormai for the Kiwis. They're up to the last touch. That's Shannon Hoff at acting half. He says go. There's that flick pass. This time from Hoff. This time they don't score. Great work by the Aussie defence and a chance to go to the sideline. Amanda de Pledge with Scott Notley.
Australia really starting to take control now.
Bit early for that, Amanda, but that was a good touchdown. Hopefully we can score the next one. That could well be the difference between winning and losing.
The defence from O'Shannessy and Raper on that previous play. That was as desperate as it gets. Matters stumbled on the roll ball, and that made it difficult for David Raper. That's a very soft turnover.
Kiwis on the attack now, but Notley's right. He's not happy with just the lead by 1 touchdown. He wants a couple to put it beyond any other way.
Corbett, 5 out from the line.
Yeah, next one out.
Kiwis dictating the speed. Hoani.
Up. Come this way.
Half-time siren has sounded. Shannon Hoff, he puts the little skip on. Well, the flick pass has worked once. It has failed twice. But what a good first half it has been. Game 2 of the men's and the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman series. There's the score. 2-1 to the Aussies. We'll be back after the break to see if the Aussies can square the series. Welcome back to Perry Park in Brisbane. The crowd on edge. Australia leading game 2 of the men's by 2 touchdowns to 1 after the Kiwis had won the opening match of the series. Amanda de Pledge, what's happened at half-time?
It's pretty calm in the Australian corner. Peter McNevin, the coach, is really happy with what's happened in the first half, although he did warn his players to stick by their motto, and that is help out your mate. So let's find out now what's happening in the New Zealand camp.
All right, yeah. More security, the sets are good. The sets are really good. You're having a look, you're getting settled, and then you're going. Let's work on the width a bit more. And if you're passing off to a guy who's in a better position, that guy has got to punch the hole and keep the drive going. All right? Keep it up, keep it up.
Kiwi coach Wayne Wallace telling his players how they can clinch the series as we take a look at the stats. And not much happening. Only 4 sets of 6 for Australia, 3 for New Zealand. Expect to see plenty more in this second half.
It all boils down to this, the second half.
Yeah, Bob, Bobby!
If the home team can keep this series alive against the Trans-Tasman champions, New Zealand. Plenty of speed to start this second half. Notley and Brindle. Matters is wrapping around. A flying Craig Matters. Caught short of the line. He was in the process of diving for the scoreline.
Play through, so what it?
Go ball.
Again, the communication of both attack and defence. Scott Notley calling all the plays for the green and gold. This is Neil Ward probing. With it is Brindle. Quick hands. Ward can't handle. A touchdown was on offer.
Brindle, the instigator again there, but just couldn't control that football. The pass was really on. He only had to hold it, and they were 3-1 up.
Spot on Russell is now the Kiwis away from that danger zone. Showing some speed of their own with Walters. Going across field. Now they will search forward. This is Alu. They're inside the Aussies half. You can see the field getting chopped up now as we head into the night session, and acting half is caught. Turnover to the Aussies. They weren't falling for that. Just a sneaky little touch on the way through. And this is Matters. They start their counter-attack. Ward for Zabilio. Caught there by Shannon Hoff. They attack the right side. Hoff is there again, the man of the moment. O'Shannessy sending Zabilio down the right. And now Matters. That's Curry in his first game for the series. The scoop there was with Raper. Raper is caught. New Zealand ball.
Well, there's the first set of 6 for Australia in this second half. They'll need to string a lot more together. They must deny the Kiwis possession.
Like a game of chess at the moment.
Get him out of the ruck.
The tactics
Get him out of the ruck
exposed
if he comes
of
in
both
tight.
teams. New Zealand, their drive has well and truly started. Faliotto inside here with Hoani. And that was Matayo. Last touch here. Matayo was back with it. Running an angle. And now the long floating ball. The pressure was on Craig Pearce in defence. But the Kiwis have come up with a touchdown to level the scores at 2-2.
Well, this is a smart piece of play by the Kiwis. Let me tell you, it is a beauty. John Kelly gets the touchdown, but it was the inside pass from Mike Corbett that really sets it up. Out it goes, wide, delivers inside, no one to beat, and that is even the ball game.
Crowd was a little stunned having watched that touchdown. Caught that time was Craig Pearce. New Zealand in possession at 2-2. 3-2 it was in game 1 to the Kiwis.
Okay.
And that was in the drop-off. So New Zealand quickly out of trouble with Pariwa. Nice scoop there from Peter Walters. Right on halfway. Kelly, the touchdown scorer, was acting half. Tormai. Now, last play for the Kiwis. The flick pass. It comes unstuck. But what about that on the last play? New Zealand get the penalty.
Darren Curry, the man at fault there, offside, didn't retreat.
This way, Piercy!
So another set of 6 plays. There's the little goose step from Jason Tormai.
That's it. Piercy, come!
New Zealand, if they score next, they'd have to be confident of wrapping up the series. Alu is with it. Still slippery. Caught around the leg. Back for the roll ball. First receiver this time is Tormai. Across with Kelly. Channeling inside was Matteo. Nice scoop there from Shannon Hoff and caught David Hoani.
Too hard, mate.
Good defence from Australia, a little over aggressive, said the referee, and from the restart, Trent McDonald comes up with a touch. Oh, up close and personal here. Well, they claimed the touchdown. Want to have a look at that again. Trent McDonald claimed that he made the touch.
Well, look at McDonald. No way he's touched him there. He's put the hand up. That has saved the series.
Matty Matteo had every reason to blow up. And now there's some feeling. Brindle and Matteo. Couple of bad ones. Oh, Matteo, that was a fair touchdown. Denied. Lots of pointing. Pariwa, he's with it. Matteo again. The quick hands, the floating ball, and touched was Silly Maker.
That was a set play. Simple cutout ball. Ran into touch, though.
2-2.
Push out, boys.
Waters wants to slow them up again.
Get closer now.
He's consistent. I'll say that. Well, was that another touchdown? Walters delivered it for Pariwa, and he put it down cold.
Bobby Brindle got the arm out there to prevent a touchdown.
And now with Curry. The Australians from their danger zone. Almost a forward pass back to Curry. Zabilio for Brindle. Just a jog up centre field. In a moment, they will say go.
First touch of possession for Australia for a while. They needed to get this ball in their hand. All they've been doing for the last 2 or 3 minutes has been defending, and they were ready to crack.
Neil Ward, was there a shepherd there? And New Zealand have possession. Inside their own half, Walters.
Go in, Jay.
Attacking the right side.
Peel.
Back with Walters now.
Kiwis look very composed. There's no struggle. There's no pushing the ball. They've got it all under control. They are ready to set this game alight. Australia will have to watch very much their defence. They cannot afford to play the game in their own red zone, which is 10 to 15 metres out from their own touchdown line.
Well, this is Mark Alu. He almost put a headbutt on and his way through, tried to ram his way through. New Zealand have possession. 5 out from the Aussie line. Matters comes up with a touch. Matteo. Now, let's watch the in-goal camera. Watch the Australian defence. They will be forced left and right on the switch of play. New Zealand probing the quick dump and then the scoop and then put down. But another penalty.
No, that's all right. Where we go? 10, you're off
the
there,
Aussie
mate.
side.
Hold, where we go? Yep.
And plenty of frustration at the moment for the home team. They're struggling to come up with possession. New Zealand at 2-2. Michael Corbett in on the back foot. It won't be for long. They will push forward now. Corbett on the wraparound. Dives. He's caught. Jason Zabilio and Stephen Murphy.
Hold the line, fellas. Drop the short side.
That's one of the favourite plays by the Kiwis. The dummy half runs towards the man who's made the touch. He can't get back, and then he tries to stay low and score the touchdown. It's nearly worked a couple of times.
Well, the diving low is proving a potent force for this New Zealand side. Silly Maker just palming off there with Mark Alu. Quick dump. The acting half wasn't there, though. It comes for Simon Rigby. Now Hoff. Quick hands and put down, this time by Corbett. Sustained pressure by the Aussie defence. Zabilio was in the face of Michael Corbett.
Well, they've got to work it out now. Australia, gee, that was close. They cannot afford to cough up possession. They need to hold it for 6. They need to get this football down the other end of the field if they're to be a chance.
Stephen Murphy, one of the speed men. That looked forward to Craig Pearce. There was an appeal from the Kiwis. Now Raper. Australia with a bit of urgency to this drive. Back for Pearce. And now Murphy working quickly. It comes from Matters. Well touched by Michael Corbett. Last play here for Australia. It's with Trent McDonald. McDonald with the dummy. Runs into the shoulder of Jason Silly Maker.
Keep them down, mate.
Turnover.
Good set of 6 for Australia. If you take a look at this, if he throws the ball, there's only one man out wide. It's 2-on-1. Australia score.
Nifty bit of work from Jason Silly Maker. He was turned round and still came up with a touch. Shannon Hoff. This is grand final stuff. Pariwa and John Kelly. Now a little jump in his work. That was Faliotto. They're close to the line. Faliotto just plunges over. No way
boys, wait there.
for that touchdown.
Mate, I'll tell you when you're on.
But he's been dangerous all match.
Scotty,
Notley, the man in defence.
Peter Walters.
Yours, Bob.
And now right side, Scott Notley
Bob,
doing all the
last,
calls for the Aussies defensive line. Walters, he's the number one. And caught that time was John Kelly. It was the last play. It's a turnover. An anti-climax to that 6 plays for the Kiwis. Now Brindle. The Australian side. Can they make ground straight up the centre with Rigby? Scooped up nicely for Brindle to advance. Now Rigby working with Neil Ward. Wrap around there for Shane Rigby. Ward on the scoop. He bumps away from someone offside. Well, what's the referee going to rule there? Was he caught in possession as acting half?
Called out. I gave him plenty of warning. No, he didn't. No, he didn't stay out of it because he took him out of play. Professional power, Pete. I didn't hold it. Okay.
So appealing going on from the Kiwis, but the referee, in fact, we've got one to the sin bin, have we?
Go.
Well, running was Neil Ward, and Matty Matteo never stayed out of the play when he was called to do so by the referee. And now a bit of dissent, and he's off to the bin.
Yes, he's off for 3 minutes. That puts 6 on 5. Australia, it's now or never.
What a crucial call at 2-all. Australia on the attack, 5 metres out. They will set the muddling pace all of a sudden. Notley working back with Brindle. The Kiwis stretch to the left. Rigby. Long ball for Zabilio. And Faliotto is there with a touch. Zabilio, just for a fleeting moment, was headed for what would have been the match-winning touchdown. Neil Ward. He wants a man on the inside. Duck there for Brindle to attack the acting half. Beautiful ball from Brindle. There it is for Neil Ward. Served up on a platter. The crowd loves it. 3-2 to the Aussies.
Neil Ward gets the touchdown, but again, it's that man in the middle, Bobby Brindle. Look at him here. Steps off the let, comes back. Short ball. The players had to go wide because there is a player out there. It was going to be 2 on 1, but he scores off the short ball.
Bobby Brindle, one of the 30-something brigade in this Australian lineup. He's still a key player. The Kiwis needing to score here to level up. Walters was acting half. He was caught. Turnover.
Yes!
Australia will have possession. You heard the cry of yes. They're happy to be back with the ball.
Late pass by the Kiwis.
So Australia, no hurry from here. New Zealand still down to 5.
Drive the ball!
There's a big question that the Aussies could come up with another touchdown. Curry appealing he had the ball knocked out. He gets a second goal at the roll ball. Some boos from the Kiwi section to the crowd. Pearce pushes them forward. Now Raper. Back with Pearce.
Yes!
He was pushed on the way down. Again, Notley is happy with the decision. He's the player calling yes every time.
Where we go? Pearce, come to me. Go round, Riggers, go round. Go right.
So Pearce carries forward. And it's with
Keep driving, Pearce.
Notley calling Pearce forward.
And down
The Australians with time on their side,
Dave,
leading by 1.
Yeah,
David Raper. Inside it comes for Notley to attack the scoreline. He's touched on the way through. But Australia lead by 3-2, having lost the opening match of the series.
No, hold it up.
Rigby for Raper.
Riggers.
Again, they slow it down. Zabilio. Back with Raper. Full-time siren has sounded. There's the touch, and there's the end of game 2. The Aussies have levelled the series, a 3-2 result.
Fantastic exhibition by Australia. Bobby Brindle the star, but Scotty Notley, you can hear him all through that call. He paved the way for an Australian victory. He put them in the right position. He put them in the right direction.
Still the sin binning, a turning point in this match. O'Shannessy, Notley and Ward for the Aussies. Matteo and Kelly the touchdowns for the Kiwis. Let's hear from our most valuable player. He's with Amanda de Pledge.
Bob Brindle, you are the most valuable player from that game. A terrific win for Australia. What do you put it down to?
I'd put it down to probably guts and determination. We were probably up against it there, like with 1-0 down already. And obviously we had to get back to 1-all, and we're pretty happy with that. And we certainly showed some determination throughout that game. It's great. 1 to go.
1-all going into the final game. That's when you'll see as much passion as you'll ever see on a touch field. Australia, New Zealand, 1-all in a trans-Tasman. Doesn't get any better.
What was the secret to Australia's win in that game, do you think?
I think we got beaten because I don't think we played to our potential in the first game. We went out there expecting to win without wanting to win. And we went out there, showed a little bit more feeling, a bit more aggression, a bit more want, probably.
Well, they turned it all around in the second game, and especially in the second half. They held the ball for 8 sets of 6. That's what they needed to do, deny the Kiwis possession. But for my money, it was their fantastic defensive effort in the second half that got them home.
So 1-all in this best-of-3 series, the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman series. New Zealand and Australia. It will go down to the last match. We'll see you next time. We'll leave you with a match-winning touchdown in Game 2, scored by Neil Ward. The Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series for the women started with Game 1. This touchdown from Tanya Suter set it all up for a 3-0 victory over the Kiwis. A very impressive performance, the Aussies scoring all 3 of their touchdowns in the first half. Then we went to Game 2, and again the Aussies dominant, but a lot closer battle. In fact, it went to the drop-off, and it was Jodie English who scored the match-winning touchdown. So, 3-2 to the Aussies, Melissa Pitfield, Tanya Suter and Jodie English on the scoreboard, Janie Wahoney and Tamaku Paul for the Kiwis. Good to have you on board for the 97 Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. We've seen some superb performances throughout the series. Tonight, I don't think it'll be any different. It's Game 3 in the women's. Australia has already wrapped up the title, but the Kiwis are out to salvage some lost pride and seek revenge for those earlier results.
Well, just 2 changes to the Australian lineup that was successful in Game 2. Out are Angela Barr and Melissa Pitfield, in Renee Clark and Alicia Kolovos.
Let's hear from the Aussie coach, Peter Bell, as we head into Game 3.
Peter, when you've already wrapped up the series, what is the motivation to get out there and win?
Well, Amanda, we might have won the series, but the Australian women have never been beaten, and we're not going to start with the 3rd test. So the girls are very motivated to keep our perfect record.
Well, the Kiwis chasing their first ever victory over the Australian side. Their lineup just 1 change. Out is Katane and in comes Yvette Saba.
Well, what about the last-minute instructions from John Rangahuna to the Kiwi team?
Have fun. So I tell them, basically just remind them of all the things we've changed. It's basically too late then. It's just to remind them of what we're trying to achieve out there. And probably the last thing will be have fun, go and enjoy the occasion.
Well, the Kiwis, I'm sure, would have had some fun if it was 1-1 heading into the decider. They went so close in Game 2, it went to the drop-off. Jodie English scoring the match-winning touchdown, and she's in possession now. The Aussies on their first drive of the match. Tanya Suter is the acting half there. And now with Christy Judd. Lovely scoop from Suter. And already the Aussies looking to open some space on the left side of the park, and they have. Well, what about that? A touchdown to Alicia Kolovos. Have we had 60 seconds? I don't think we have.
We've only had 20 seconds, and what a touchdown. Great pass from Christy Judd, though. It was a cut-out ball. You watch this. Sharon Williams, quick play the ball, gets out, acts as a decoy, cut-out ball across in front and just gets it down.
Good reaction from the fans in that corner as well. So, the Aussies make the best start of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Series. And now New Zealand, every right to be shocked at that. Their first possession of the match, and they're already down 1 touchdown to nil, and a drop ball there from Colleen McElroy.
You can see the nerves there. New Zealand offset by that great start to the Aussies.
Australia back with it. Jodie English just into the New Zealand half. Again, this match in tough conditions, a slippery playing surface, plenty of rain, and that hasn't made it easy. And now with it is Kolovos, the touchdown scorer. Sharon Williams, they're getting a roll on again with Gabrielle Marr. There's numbers on the left side and losing a footing, Catherine Barr. Well, that's not the place to dive over and score.
She's not too upset about it. Had a smile on the face.
So Justine Smith, and a chance to reposition to the right. Sharon Williams. Pushing wide here for Kitty Marr, the captain. Scooped up again by Williams and a chance to turn inside, and the defence read it well. Justine Smith. No sooner did she have possession, the touch had come from the Kiwi defence. So, is that a forward pass? Called straight away by the referee. Nothing going right for this New Zealand side.
Oh, the Kiwis are shocked. Australia again, good attacking position. But the Kiwis, what are they doing? They need to settle down. Their coach told them to have fun. They're not doing that. They're pushing it.
Still no now.
Now Gabrielle Maher and Kitty Maher. With it is Jodie English. They're going to attack that left side again. Tanya Suter on the 5 metre line. Back with Jodie English. It's all one-way traffic at the moment. Kitty Maher in the centre of the park. Working this New Zealand defence around. A good scoop there and roll ball as Kitty Maher was touched. The acting half caught in possession. Turnover. Emma Jean Rangatawa came up with a touch that time.
One of the rules of touch, acting dummy half, caught in possession, it is an instant turnover.
Can New Zealand work their way into this match? The experienced players need to get involved to settle this team. Cynthia Nawati does that now, and with it is Yvette Saba taking it to the left side. Jodie English was waiting. Nawati again. Kiwi's on halfway, but struggling a little to get the passes together, and again the ball finds its way to the deck, so Australia have possession.
Really up in your face, pressure defence by the Australians, and good effort.
And now Kitty Maher on halfway. Aussies leading by 1 touchdown to 0. English sends them to the left side. Good scoop from English. Giselle Tirado is now on. She's the number 6. And I don't think anyone would argue she's the quickest player in either side. With Amanda Judd and English. The Australians playing with the confidence of a side having already wrapped up the series. They are the ones enjoying themselves, and that time caught in possession as they really look to finish off the drive. Christy Judd. Diane Uppity came up with a touch. New Zealand, it seems every time they start their 6 plays, they're working from their own scoreline. This is Nicola Kidd. Not with the same speed of the Aussies at the moment. Kidd again with the ball. Still short of halfway. Vanessa Coots, 13, is one play to look out for. That was a better roll ball. This is better play from New Zealand now. But caught acting half Nicola Kidd. So again the turnover, but really they haven't threatened the home team's line as yet.
No, 6-0.
Again, we've got the girls mic'd up, also the referee, so we're hearing all the on-ground communication. And the Aussies with a drive straight through the centre. Amanda Judd. This is impressive play, their best of the series. And with it is Christy Judd for Tirado. The inside ball, Judd, did she score or did she lose it? Wait for the call, the referee says she lost the ball.
Well, that was slammed down. I think she might have lost the ball when she slammed it over the line.
That would have been 2-0. Beautifully worked. The New Zealand defence just not alert. Well, again, New Zealand have made an error, and the Aussies are in possession. This is Tirado dancing, stepping. I reckon that's a touchdown. Tirado has dived low and beaten them to the touch.
Well, you just can't turn your back on Giselle Tirado. She is as quick as they come. Quick thinking, very clever. She just took advantage of the situation. Quick tap, she goes straight at them, throws the big dummy, and then dives. I don't know if she made that. The referee thinks she has, and it'll stand.
Might have been a payback for the previous one. Anyway, the Kiwis are attacking Rangatawa. Again, we saw in the Tirado touchdown how hard it has been for the players to keep their footing. A bit of that sort of stepping from Tirado, and the defence was on their heels. New Zealand with one of their better chances now.
2 to go, ladies. You want now?
Nicola Kidd. To the centre they go. This is Takahu. Now Vanessa Coots. Lovely one-handed scoop. Great skills from Coots, but caught in possession the acting half. The touch came from Tirado.
You go, I'll change.
Australia back in possession. It will be close to their own line. We're talking about Vanessa Coots. She has been one of the better players for New Zealand in this series.
And if the Kiwis are to come back in this match, Vanessa Coots has got to lead from the front. She's got to take the first pass. That's her role.
Again with the Aussies, Justine Smith dumping it off. Now Suter. They've worked a corridor down the left side of the field. Now they come back to the centre. Suter caught in possession. But they worked the left side exclusively there on that set of plays for the Aussies. This is Nicola Kidd for New Zealand. Well, she got touched there. She had a little look up and thought, what's going on here? It was offside. So New Zealand a chance to get back in this match, perhaps. First ball was with Nawati and Kidd.
Keep talking!
They seem to have lost the speed in their play. The call came out, keep talking. That was from the Aussie defensive line. And again, New Zealand making an error. Diane Uppity. Kitty Maher is with it for Australia.
Well, it's not so much that the Australians are playing well. The Kiwis, they're handling the basic fundamentals, are letting them down.
Alicia Kolovos scored the first touchdown. Kitty Marr, the Aussies lead by 2 touchdowns to 0. This is game 3 of the series. And they are calling all the shots. Put down there for Gabrielle Marr, inside for assist to Kitty Marr, but good defence from Colleen McElroy getting across.
Yeah, good play, well read by McElroy. Covered the inside pass superbly.
3 sets of sisters in this Aussie side, and we saw one pair there. Kitty Marr and her sister Gabrielle. A lot of talent. New Zealand. Inside their own half. Vanessa Coots getting into that role of first receiver. Last touches with them. They've gone through their 6 plays awfully quick and caught. Well, again, they've thrown out no challenge. That time, Janie Wahoney was caught.
But I guess one of the pleasing points was they held the ball for 6 touches. They maintained possession, and that will give them some confidence.
Torado dumping it off for Christy Judd. Looked forward out of acting half. Now Torado and Suter. Another call came up for forward. Torado was acting half.
Too hard.
Nothing going right for the Kiwis. A little too aggressive on the touch. So Australia, they're threatening the line yet again in this match. First half of game 3. With it is Catherine Barr. And they work numbers to the right. Torado. Now Barr is wrapped around. Oh, this is great play. Tanya Suter scores, and it was coming a long way off. That was beautifully worked. Torado, Barr and Suter.
Suter gets the touchdown, but it was the vision by Giselle Torado. She counts the heads, 2 on 3. She goes to the right-hand side, and there it is, Tanya Suter, untouched.
New Zealand down by 3 touchdowns to 0. Vanessa Coots is headed for greener pastures right over the sideline. And now with it is Rangatawa. That was Saba, and now Nicola Kidd. It's just not happening for them, though. The touch came from Renee Clark. Australia have possession. I can't really think of a time in this match that they have looked like making a break, the Kiwis.
2.
Australia already inside the New Zealand half. 3 touchdowns up. Torado calling shots. Now for Catherine Barr, back with Torado. They put the brakes on. Jodie English, outstanding in the series. This is Williams, some nice stepping close to the line, caught on the way through.
4 to go. 2 to go, sorry.
Referee just correcting his call. 2 plays to go. For the Aussies, Jodie English and Catherine Barr. Torado, they're working inside pass nicely. Torado's had no trouble stepping in the wet conditions. Jodie English holding on to the pass and caught by Anna Richards. We reached the last touch here for the Aussies. The last play, Torado showing the speed. Nicola Kidd gets the touch.
Well, Giselle Torado relying on the pace but couldn't get around Kidd. Desperation dive by Kidd prevents another touchdown.
Half-time is called, and I reckon the New Zealand side are relieved that that has happened. 3-0 it is at the break. Alicia Kolovos, Giselle Torado, Tanya Suter all scoring. Great half by the green and gold. We'll take a break and come back with more. With the action, game 3 of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. The Aussie girls leading at half-time by 3 touchdowns to 0.
The stats show us that the Kiwis should be in the lead, but the Aussies have made better use of the football.
And right now in the Kiwi huddle, concern from their coach John Rangahuna.
Believing in yourself. You're as good as these girls over here. You're better. We talked about this today. Back yourself. Don't you stop and have a look what they're doing. You go. And we all go that way together.
Oh boy, there are lots of problems in the Kiwi camp right now. The news much better for the Australians. And at that halftime break, it was Captain Katrina Marr doing all the talking. She's particularly proud of all of her players, and so she should be. It's 3-0 going into the second half. What she wants them to do now is to really drill it to the Kiwis. She wants to win it 8-0, so it's going to be a very exciting second half.
Big ambitions indeed. 8 touchdowns to 0 is the ask for the Aussies. Let's see what happens as New Zealand with first possession. Wahoney, and just in three plays, they look a better side. All of a sudden, they're playing with a bit of speed. And back with Wahoney. Scooped up by Richards. Working across to the left side. The Aussie defence at full stretch now. Tamaku Paul was caught. He reached the last touch. And Vanessa Coots is with it, the acting half. She was caught there on the way through. Williams and also Suter got a hand, so the turnover the Aussies' way. But definitely a brighter start from the New Zealand team.
Well, that is the closest the Kiwis have looked to scoring. A little inside ball from Vanessa Coots. She was touched, but the Kiwis, a completely different outfit in the second half of this match.
On halfway, Kitty Ma for the Aussies. I guess you could say in Kitty Ma terms she's been a little quiet in this match. Giselle Torrado working with Ma. Torrado from acting half on the last play. Just a one-handed palm-off pass. And caught was Amanda Judd. And Anna Richards did very well there. She got both players on the way through with a touch. So New Zealand in possession. And you can hear the calls again coming from on ground. Vanessa Coots. There's a fumble at acting half from Uppity. And Australia will have possession in good position inside the Kiwi half. And lead by 3 touchdowns to 0. Torrado is with it. She's been a real live wire. Judd in the centre of the park. Acting half a little late to get there. Again, Torrado is with it. Caught by Uppity. Justine Smith and Christy Judd pushing the pass now. They're close to the New Zealand scoreline. In fact, they're in goal now with Christy Judd. Where's the support? Oh, 2 players went for the pass, but Justine Smith has scored the touchdown. There was almost a collision. Amanda Judd diving for the ball with Justine Smith.
Smith gets the touchdown, but it was Christy Judd who went into open space. And as an acting half, she's got to find some support. She can't score herself. And just gets it down to 2 Aussies going for the same hole.
Almost messed it up, but it is 4 touchdowns to 0. And now Cynthia Nawati. This is Rangatawa. The news gets worse for the Kiwis. Nawati is caught. They're only 5 metres out from the Aussie line. Scooped up there by Rangatawa. She's in goal. Where's the support? She can't find any. And caught by Renee Clark. She chased and she chased and she got her.
Best opportunity for New Zealand so far. They'll be disappointed they didn't capitalise there.
Renee Clark. And now with it is Gabrielle Ma. Clark on the scoop for Kitty Ma to attack the centre. Now Renee Clark. The Aussies in motion. They look fantastic. Sharon Williams down the left side, put down. What about the keenness? They're all going for the ball.
Yeah, great break by Australia. And what about the pace on Sharon Williams?
New Zealand in possession, under siege at the moment. They're inside their own half and they've dropped it again. Well, I hope we're not being too critical of the New Zealand side, but they're making some very basic errors, making their assignment so much tougher. Here's Suter. Stepping and weaving. Kitty Ma. With it is Gabrielle Ma. Close again to the New Zealand line. Gabrielle is with it for Suter. Across with Jodie English. She'll turn someone inside. It's Sharon Williams. She wraps around. Jodie English, 5 out from the New Zealand line. At 4 touchdowns to 0. Suter putting a step on again. She was caught by Saba. Scooped up that time from Catherine Barr. Again it's English. The inside ball, a good one for Suter. It comes wide for Catherine Barr. The defence holding on, but only just. Suter. English. Kolovos was calling for it. They skip out Kolovos on the pass. Scooped up there by Amanda Judd on the last, and Jodie English is caught. Well, it's time to give the Kiwis a wrap. That was good defence.
Yeah, plenty of talk, plenty of lateral movement in the defensive line. They wrapped up all the runners. Didn't even look like Australia was going to score in that particular set.
The Kiwis showing some pride in their defensive line. And Colleen McElroy, I can't believe it, they've dropped it again. Australia in possession. Jodie English.
Go forward, please.
Amanda Judd was on her outside. English toying with the defence. Back with Tanya Suter. And now Torrado. For English. 5 out from the line. Dumping it off for Torrado. Then back to English. She just bats it on. Says, have a go at this. And it goes over the sideline.
Well, the right thought was there as we take a look at this again. Quick movement of the hands, just trying to force it across, thinking that Suter was unmarked out there, but Suter did have a person on her.
Richards. New Zealand out of trouble. What have they done this time? They've conceded a penalty. What else can go wrong for New Zealand? And Torrado from the restart just helps herself to a touchdown. Untidy play by New Zealand, but Torrado ever the opportunist.
Yes, quick thinking by Torrado, takes the tap, goes straight to the defensive line, stays low. Now that makes it 5 zippo, but the penalty came from when New Zealand overstepped the mark again. Another fundamental error.
They get the chance to reply, Wahoney and Richards. Yet to score the Kiwis. A black day indeed for them. The inside ball was clever. Anna Richards unable to handle, but that would have been a touchdown. That was good work.
Yes, good play from Susie Shortland. Sent the ball inside, just couldn't maintain the possession. And again, another opportunity gone.
Australia out of trouble with Kitty Marr. Acting half pass was a touch on the forward side, I thought. Christy Judd. They're making easy meters though. Kolovos inside the Kiwi half now. Scooped up there by Christy Judd. Gabrielle Marr was running the inside. This is Catherine Barr. Look at the speed of the play of the Aussies. So much confidence, and why not at 5 touchdowns to 0. Now they will slow it up a little closer to the line. Kolovos caught. That was the end of their 6 plays. So New Zealand have possession. And the acting half has come up with a little fumble. Well, this is not New Zealand's night. What's gone wrong, Russell?
This is amazing. This is playing right into the hands of the Australians. The Kiwis, I know the coach, John Rangahuni, said have some fun, and they are not having any fun.
Well, the referee could manage a smile there. I'm not quite sure the reason. Justine Smith. The Aussies, again in that attacking position. They are in the zone tonight. 5 touchdowns to 0 it is, and here comes another one. So easy, Gabrielle Marr. She slides over on the knees. 6-0 make it.
This is a record victory by the Australians. Gabrielle Marr making it 6. And take a look at this. The acting half goes to the defensive line, draws her in, and just opens a hole on the outside. Pretty simple play. They would have practiced this 10 or 15 times, the Aussies, and it has finally worked.
Catherine Barr set it up. New Zealand in possession from the restart. But it's not going right for them. Vanessa Cooch was the acting half. Floats it over the top. Nicola Kidd couldn't handle. Turnover again. Goes the Aussies' way. Nicola Kidd. She was almost in the motion of diving for the corner when the ball came her way. Australians from their own line. They've had a lot of possession in this second half. Torado and Judd. Referee with a caution on the run. 2-handed touches against Cynthia Nawati, and now she's been penalised. She was warned. And the referee carrying out her threat. This is Renee Clark. That is the halfway line, you can see. They are now just inside the Kiwis' territory. And now was Catherine Barr. Torado. We said the Kiwis were shell-shocked earlier. I think we're a little shell-shocked up in the commentary box that this New Zealand side has folded so dramatically in this match. Watch it again, a touch here.
We can see there the foot of that Kiwi defender just touches the ball. Giselle Torado can't make a clean pickup.
Well, the roll is on again. This is Sharon Williams. She was the acting half. She can't score, but Alicia Kolovos surely can. No, she surely can't. She's dropped it.
Yeah, that was a sitter. Across, running into space, and the Kolovos inside ball just can't hold the pill.
Oh, that was a gift. So they've made an error of their own in what has been a wipeout just about. The referee here has ruled that New Zealand have made another error. It was a close call, but again the close call goes against the side, so the Aussies have possession in an attacking zone yet again. Jodie English, the acting half. Torado is on her outside. Torado's with it now. There's the speed, and again it's another soft one. Is that 3 touchdowns for Giselle Torado? It is.
You bet you it is. And hasn't she got some pace? She is Australia's leading try scorer. This was simply pace to burn here. This is what got her home. Great pass by English. But look at Torado. Around and scoots down, gets it down. It was pure pace that got that try.
Nicola Kidd couldn't get across in time, but New Zealand's away. Vanessa Coots. Christy Judd won't get there, and Coots has scored. Here they're on the board at 7-1.
This is a real turnaround. That was from the tap-off. Vanessa Coots spotted some space down the left-hand side, and there's no better sight for New Zealand touch fans anyway than seeing Vanessa Coots streaking down that left-hand touchline and eventually getting over for a touchdown.
Their first of the match, a consolation touchdown, but it's good to see they're on the board. So 7-1, and that is full time, so they got the touchdown in the nick of time. The end of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman series, a 3-0 result. The clean sweep to the green and gold. Congratulations to them. And what about this score sheet? It is crowded. Torado 3, Suter, Smith, Gabriel Maher and Kolovos all getting on the board. Vanessa Coots, that touchdown for the Kiwis. Game 1 was 3-0. Game 2, 3-2 in the drop-off. But emphatic winners in Game 3, 7-1.
Giselle Torrado, 3 touchdowns. You deserve to be the game's most valuable player, and you've taken out the award. That was a tremendous performance.
Yeah, it was a good effort by the whole side. I mean, the score was 7-0. I think it was a whole big team effort from everyone. It wasn't just one person.
Well, as we take a look at the stats, Australia turned the possession around to lead there. The turnovers, New Zealand guilty, 15 turnovers. And what about the penalties favouring Australia? That was where it was really working in Australia's favour. They had plenty of possession and as a result got over for 7 touchdowns. Brilliant effort by the Aussies. They are still undefeated.
And they retain the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Trophy. As we have a look at some of the highlights from Game 3, and there were plenty, you've got to say the performances across the 3 games are just a carry-on from the State of Origin series.
There's no doubt about that. That is exactly right. The standard they played in that State of Origin was just fantastic. They may have been enemies at that stage, but now they're teammates and playing fantastic touch for Australia. And let me tell you, it will help the New Zealand girls. They'll go home. They'll have learned a fair bit from this series. And watch out for next year. Australian touch is going to get even bigger with perhaps a National Touch League.
And this may well have been the farewell appearance of the Aussie captain, Kitty Ma. Talk of her taking up a career in marathon running. What about Giselle Torrado? What a great series she had. Plenty of touchdowns. She scored in all 3 games. Hope you've enjoyed the action. It really has been a great series. Our thanks to Lipton Ice. We'll see you next time. Welcome to the final game of the 97 Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Touch Series. The women's has been decided, a clean sweep to the Aussies, not so the men's. It all boils down to this final match. In fact, the overall series will be decided by this game to see who will crown Trans-Tasman champions. Game 1, it was Shannon Hoff scoring in a drop-off for the Kiwis. That was a 3-2 result. Hoff, a clean run to score, and didn't he enjoy that? The reverse, though, in Game 2. It was the Aussies who managed to win 3-2 with a last-minute touchdown. Neil Ward is the player who will receive the ball from Brindle. Ward gets over, and the Aussies are back in it. They had squared the series. Now we head into Game 3.
As we take a look at the Australian lineup, just one change. Out is Brenton O'Shannessy, and in comes number 3, Corey Foster.
Only 3 New South Wales players in that squad. Let's hear from the Aussie coach, Peter McNevin. He's on the sideline.
Peter, at the moment it's all tied up at 1-1. How confident are you going into this third game?
I think if we keep up the intensity we had from the last game, I think we'll go all right. It's going to be hard. They're a very good side, very, very good side. And we're going to be there. We're going to hopefully come out winners. I believe we will. It's up to the guys now. It's all mental. It's all mental now.
Well, it's mental for both sides as we get ready to take a look at the Kiwi lineup, and there is some surprising admissions here. Gone is the star, Matty Mateo, and in comes number 4, Stefan Tiamo.
Back to the sideline. Amanda to pledge with the Kiwi coach, Wayne Wallace.
Wayne, it's one apiece at the moment. What's the plan for the third game? I mean, this is so crucial.
Not too much pressure, and just try and keep up the work that we've been doing and just build on it. It's the third step of our ladder, so we're just going to work hard to give it all we got.
This is the best even money bet you will ever get. The bookmakers are undecided. Who will win? They will win the Trans-Tasman Trophy. New Zealand, first possession. Peter Walters, the number 1. He'll be a player to look out for. Jason Tormai. They're attacking with speed. Corbett and Tormai. as we've seen throughout the series. Once they get to within 5-10 metres of the scoreline, that's when they start to play mind games, the Kiwis. Silly Maker got there but was touched. Now, Peter Walters, the veteran, have touched across both teams. Looping pass over the top. There was half a chance in the corner. Stephen Murphy did extremely well.
Yeah, great touch by Murphy. You expect this first session of this first half to be pretty much an arm wrestle. And that is disappointment for Australia. First time they've had possession.
Some confusion there. The Aussies making the appeal that they should have a penalty, but the Kiwis came up with a ball. Michael Corbett. And now Silly Maker controlling the speed of the play. Walters is right in the centre. A standoff with Trent McDonald. Then the quick dump for Walters. Now the numbers on the left side, and caught was Mark Arlu.
Well, Scott Notley caught in no man's land there. Zabilo makes the desperate touch.
Jason Tormai, we start again. No score, but all the Kiwis at the moment. Walters tries a high ball, intercepted by Stephen Murphy. Well, the tactics exposed of New Zealand, trying to catch the Aussies napping on that right side, the left side defence for Australia, but they were able to hang on, and Murphy has been the saviour.
Good start to the game by Murphy. He made a desperate touch to prevent a touchdown by the Kiwis, and then an intercept, and there he is making a great run.
On the last play, and Brindle, he was acting half-court in possession, so automatic the turnover. They had used up their 6 plays, and New Zealand are back with it. And again, they're into the Aussie half, attacking. Jason Tormai and Walters, and now Shannon Hoff. He scored that match-winning touchdown in game 1. He's a very impressive player, very dangerous. The number 14 for the Kiwis. There's the white ball. Great dive, David Hoani. And it is a touchdown to the Kiwis. They have attacked that right corner, and all of a sudden it's paid off.
Well, they must have spotted a weakness there in their pre-game talk, because they've gone to that side about 3 or 4 times and been unlucky. This time it came good. And what about the pass? Big cutout pass from Kenny Pariwa, and finds our man number 2, Hoani, just in the nick of time. Desperate defence by Zabilio, but the touchdown has been allowed.
The early advantage with the Kiwis in this deciding game. 1 touchdown to 0. Now, can the Aussies come up with a reply? This is their first foray into the New Zealand half. Craig Matters stepping 5 metres out from the line. This is Scott Notley. The acting half was hoping for support, wishing for someone to come inside, but Mark Arlu came up with a touch.
Good touch by Arlu, but Scott Notley doing just what he has to do as captain. He can't be left alone. The Australians must support their skipper.
Remembering heading into this game, New Zealand are the Trans-Tasman champions, the defending champs, but the Aussies are the defending World Cup champions. So we've got the 2 power nations on show, and New Zealand have made an error, opening the door again for the Aussies to come up with their first points. And this is Matters coming across the inside ball. That is Craig Pearce. Then for Neil Ward, Pearce, the acting half. Long ball from Pearce, and there's the touchdown. There's the reply. Stephen Murphy scores. That was great work. And it's the Aussies who have had success in the right corner this time.
Stephen Murphy, what a start to the game, but that is a move Australia has used in the past. A quick roll ball here, and look at Pearce. Long cutout ball. Murphy just gets there. The pass isn't that good. Murphy has to wait for it, but he does the job and finishes.
And skirting the sideline, Stephen Murphy. So 1-1. What a start to this match. Walters with Jason Tormai, back for Walters, and a shoulder comes up on the New Zealand captain. Impassive his reply. He hardly noticed that he was knocked to the deck. Walters with a goose step, that flick pass. It is one of the features of his play, Peter Walters. That time Jason Tormai couldn't find the space.
Go Shane.
New Zealand from in goal. We watch the Aussies defence. They are scrambling, there's no doubt about that. Bobby Brindle had them pointing to the left, and now the Kiwis attack the left. But getting across was Darren Curry. Turnover for the Australian team.
Well, good defence by the Australian side, but I can tell you, these conditions make it difficult to change direction. And when the Kiwis change the angle of attack, it is tough for Australia to defend, but they're doing a remarkable job.
You really do appreciate the work of the defence when we get that shot from the in-goal camera. Here's Notley on the inside. Scotty Notley, diving touch. Oh, he thought he was home, the skipper for the Aussies.
Great inside ball from Pearce. Now, Notley might be 31, but he shows all the dash of a teenager. Just can't quite get there.
This has been played at a hectic pace, this one. The Kiwis, did they make the error from acting half? Well, the referee ruling the way of the Aussies that time. Mark Arlu couldn't believe it. Australia on the attack, 1-1. Zabilio caught close to the line. And now Stephen Murphy, the man who scored the touchdown on the other side of the park, was the acting half. Bob Brindle Plenty of experience out there. Darren Curry was caught by David Hoani. Contrasting styles, the way the Aussies probably play with a little more speed when they get close to that scoreline. Now, is there a chance on the right side? The floating pass from Rigby. Neil Ward for the corner. Was he touched? He was. They come close, but not close enough.
Shannon Huff read this a treat. Misses the intercept, turns and lunges. Gets there.
Desperation shown by the Kiwi defence. Now Bobby Brindle. There's a quick pass for Shane Rigby. That's the touchdown that will put the Aussies in front. 2-1 the score.
Quick thinking, Bobby Brindle does it every time. Rigby gets the touchdown. It's just a matter of quick reflexes here. Brindle goes to the defence, holds him up and slips a quick pass. He doesn't try to overrun it, just plants it instantly.
Well, how did he do that? He had defenders left and right, and he still managed to score Shane Rigby. The Kiwis are with it. That's Jason Tormai pushing through the centre. Now Walters, the acting half. There's a chance. Tormai, has he scored? Notley doesn't come up with a touch, and in the blink of an eye, it's 2-2.
Well, it all happened when Trent McDonald misread it. He slips in defence, and you'll see it in just a moment. Here it goes. Watch McDonald wearing number 13. You watch him. He will slip in defence, and that allows the acting half to go straight past him. That's where the gap opened up, and eventually gets to plant it. And that man, Jason Tormai, levels the score.
Well, at this rate, we'll finish with a scoreline in double figures. The Aussies are turnover. Let's go to the sideline. Amanda de Pledge is with Shane Rigby.
Shane, this is just so quick. Every time you score a touchdown, they're answering back. The pressure's really on, isn't it?
Well, it's pretty much the name of the game. It's like everyone can score tries. It's a matter who can defend. So that's what it comes down to, I think.
Back with the Kiwis, Shannon Hoff putting that little step on. Jason Tormai, he was the acting half that time. He was caught in possession, caught by Corey Foster. So Australia will come up with the ball, but it's as tense as it gets at 2-2. And this still only the first half. McDonald, a loose ball, a breakdown there in the Aussies. Neil Ward wasn't able to get a hand on it.
Australia can ill afford to turn over possession at their end of the field.
Thank you, roll.
So New Zealand 6 plays to work with. Players mic'd up. You're hearing all the calls from the Aussie camp at Scotty Notley. Screaming, barking instructions. Jason Tormai. Here's the controlling, the muddling speed set by the Kiwis. This is the way they like to play it. Then all of a sudden they will pick up speed and run an angle unless they make an error. And Pariwa, a soft one, turning over for the Aussies, who will attack straight away. Through the centre with Notley. And now Murphy and Manners right on halfway. Nice scoop there from Murphy to keep the roll happening. Good drive from the Australian team. Right up the centre of the park. They are making good metres. Last play here. And he has penalised the Kiwis. What a call on the last play.
Well, taking a man out of action. We'll see it here. Number 2, David Hoani pushes the Australian player down. I'm just trying to see who it is here. I think it's Craig Pearce. He's a real ball player. Taking him out of play, no doubt the Kiwis were going to be penalised.
Well, they're getting a little bit more aggressive now. Another penalty to the Aussies for the same offence. So they're only 5 metres out from the line. Can they score a touchdown before half-time? Well, the referee here has ruled that the Aussies didn't take that on the mark, so it's a New Zealand ball.
Crazy stuff by both of these sides. They're the 2 best sides in the world, and for them to make these fundamental errors, it just lets you know that this is a very tense and there are nerves just coming out all over the place.
Shannon Hoff is the man getting into acting half. They've got the Aussies turned around. Well, they are offside. That's an easy one for the referee to rule on. New Zealand will get 6 more plays. And inside Australian half, this is Jason Tormai. Been very strong in this deciding match. Peter Walters. They have settled into quite a battle. Faliotto dumping off there for Walters. He was caught. The acting half. Bobby Brindle got the touch that time. Australia have possession. Brindle wide. The halftime siren has sounded, and what a first half it's been. In this, the deciding game of the Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Series. 2-2 the score. Stephen Murphy and Shane Rigby on the board for the Aussies. David Hoani and Jason Tormai for the Kiwis. Who will be the champion? We'll find out after this break. Welcome back to Perry Park in Brisbane. We zoom in on the Aussie camp. 2-2 at half-time in the deciding game. Amanda DePledge, what's happened at half-time?
Well, the New Zealanders are just oozing confidence at the moment. Wayne Wallace told his players it's the best team he's ever seen play in the whole world. He said, "You are the champions, now continue playing like the champions." He told them to try and play smart in the second half, look for their options and not to give away too many penalties. Let's see what Peter McNevin had to say to his players in the Australian team.
We've got 15 minutes, that's all it is. No mistakes. We go no mistakes this half, we'll beat them. I'll guarantee you that. Okay? 15 minutes, that's all this. We've got to make no mistakes.
15 minutes to victory and a very confident Peter McNevin, the Aussie coach. As we take a look at the stats, 55% possession, only 7 turnovers, and the greater number of penalties makes me feel confident about Australia's chances as well.
Well, I'm not so sure. I think the Kiwis have got touchdowns in them. There's no doubt about that. Australia in possession for the start of the second half. First touchdown after the break will be so vital. Bob Brindle, Scott Notley, nice dump. And then Brindle, there was a Kiwi hand in that. Australia will have possession and a restart of the plays.
Back door.
5 metres out from the Kiwi line.
Me.
Farlioto knocked down that ball, preventing a touchdown.
Craig Matters dumping that one off. Notley. Early opportunity for the home team. Neil Ward turning inside for Brindle, then for Notley. A lot of experience across those two players, Brindle and Notley. He's caught by Silly Maker. Brindle on the scoreline. The inside pass. Neil Ward was caught twice. Peter Wallace came in for a second touch.
Yeah, second touch. First penalty to Australia. Again, they have the advantage of possession and territory. They need to get on the boards.
Neil Ward, Craig Matters, spinning away from the New Zealand defence. Will he dump it off? He won't. He passes off for Ward. Then back for Matters. Skidding to a stop and throwing a loose pass. Well, what will the referees ruled the drop ball when Wallace was claiming the touch. So New Zealand get one their way. Now, their drive in this half, the first. At 2-2. Now, that young player on is Stefan Tiamo in the black socks. His first appearance in this series. They've waited to game 3 the second half to throw him into the fray.
Big gamble by the coach, but doesn't he look toey?
And New Zealand now spreading wide. The flick pass inside goes astray. That came from Lincoln Farlioto. Australia will have possession.
Well, that was an afterthought by Farlioto. It was one that he didn't have to throw.
Cross to the left. Matters right on halfway. Scotty Notley scooping that one up. Craig Pearce has been outstanding in the deciding game. He's with it there at acting half. David Raper, a player we haven't seen a lot of in the series. Now, Trent McDonald throwing that pass in desperation. New Zealand will have the ball.
Well, the start of the second half, the word you used there, desperation. Both sides are showing it.
New Zealand, the defending Trans-Tasman champion. Shannon Hoff, he had a decoy runner. Well, more or less, they overran the ball. Farlioto scooping up for Hoff, and Farlioto wraps around. They're getting inside the Aussies' territory now. They pick up a bit of speed with Jason Tormai. Heading back to the centre, Shannon Hoff. And now with Pariwa. Lovely scoop there from John Kelly, the Kiwis. On the attack, the long pass. They did well to stay in the field of play and then tiptoed their way over. Hoani.
Yeah, David Hoani just touching the line there, and on the spot, the linesman. No option, you got to play the rules, and that's exactly what he did.
They are now back with it. Bob Brindle. 2-2 the score. Game 3 of the series. Brindle picking up. The Australians getting a drive on here. Shane Rigby. A lot of pointing from Bob Brindle. He was pointing Steve Murphy to carry forward. It ended up a rather soft turnover. Pressure off the Kiwis for the moment.
Come on!
Australian defence.
Yes,
I thought
come
they were a little offside there. Not called. Peter Walters. Inside their own half. Walters again at acting half. Now they drive through the centre. Walters is calling the shots and turning a loose pass. It evades Jason Tormai. And watch the substitution straight away as if shot out of a gun. They head straight for the sideline.
Well, off goes the attacking side, on comes the defensive side. But realistically, you can't afford to have someone that's run out of a bit of steam, that's a bit tired, because one tired player could be the difference between winning and losing this Trans-Tasman series.
A 12-man squad, 6 on the field at any one time. And the Aussies are inside New Zealand territory. Matters is looking threatening in this match. Now Notley dumping off for Bob Brindle on the last. Back for Notley. He's caught. The New Zealand defence coming well off their line. And no real pressure applied by the Aussies, despite the fact they got within 5 metres of the New Zealand scoreline. Now Pariwa. Hoff scooping up there for Silly Maker. He got a little push in the back. The call came for play on. Shannon Hoff. Like a game of chess right now, but the pieces are moving a little quicker. Shannon Hoff, a one-handed pickup and then the stumble. The pickup was fine, but he couldn't keep his footing.
Gee, the Kiwis have lifted it up a notch, haven't they? Just see the pace of that set of 6. They took the ball from one end of the field to the other and had the Australians on the backward foot all the time.
Australians get their turn. Trent McDonald sends them to the left and Neil Ward back for Matters. Trent McDonald. Matters. And now Corey Foster. Who will be the first team to crack? Jason Zabilio gets a pass. The defence cool there. Jason Tormai waiting for Corey Foster. And now Matters. Hasn't he been involved in this game? He goes straight through. Craig Matters. His involvement is superb, and that time he did it all himself.
Solo effort by Craig Matters. Will this be the ball game? Gee, if it is, they've got a lot of defence to do, but let's take a look at this try. It was a simple case of fall for the dummy. First player off the ruck, gets the ball in his hand, throws the big thank you very much. They fall for it, and a bit of pace lets him go over. Bad miss there by number 14, Shannon Hoff, and that could very well be the Trans-Tasman series.
Craig Matters scored it. The Kiwi defence overread the play, and some spectacular work of their own from Mark Arlo, diving from third slip and took it in front of Gully. So the Kiwis with Shannon Hoff. Arlo back in possession, dumps it off for Hoff. He's made it an art form, the one-handed pickup. Intercept for the Aussies, and they are back in possession. That was an easy one for Craig Pearce. He just waited for the ball.
Well, the game plan for Australia here is deny the Kiwis any possession, hold the ball for sets of 6, and then defend like your life depends on it.
Incredible, Russell. We've reached the 3-2 scoreline. That has been the scoreline in the first 2 matches. And that has been the scoreline that has won the game. Will it be the same in the deciding match? Acting half-court in possession. Again, a turnover. It was Craig Pearce, but I'm not going to argue with Craig. He's had a fantastic game in this deciding match with the pressure on. Right on halfway, New Zealand in possession. Walters working with Lincoln Faliotto. Walters gets into acting half. He's in the attacking side. And caught that time was Jason Tormai. If they get the touchdown, we could be headed for a drop-off. 3-2 the Aussies lead, Walters. Little head wobble, and there's that flick pass, and that time I don't think his support, Jason Tormai, was expecting the reverse ball.
Well, if anyone's going to get the scores back to level, look for Peter Walters. They call him the Mr. Touch of New Zealand. He has to show the way.
Come on, Neil. Walters been captain of this New Zealand side since '87. Now Australia with Pearce. Right on halfway, Murphy working with Neil Ward. Nice pick up there from Pearce, taking off. He is caught acting half. Turnover, but I don't think the Australians are too disappointed. They're back inside New Zealand territory before the turnover takes place.
Well, Scotty Notley, he'll show the way for Australia. If Peter Walters has to do it for the Kiwis, Scott Notley will get Australia home. He'll talk all the way through the latter stages of this second half. If there's any breaks to be made, he'll be right where the ball is.
Galloping forward is Walters. He got a pass wide for Kenny Pariwa. The defence was sweating on him. Walters. Now they slow the pace down. They haven't really been able to get into their own style in this half. Push to ground was Kenny Pariwa. Walters. Last play for the Kiwis. Some stepping from Shannon Hoff. In fact, that was Hoani who threw the ball. Well, it's over the sideline and over the fence. The desperation showing on the Kiwis. They know there's only a few minutes remaining, and they have to pull some magic out of their little box of tricks. And they haven't been able to find any yet. The Aussies lead by 1 touchdown. And now scooped up. I don't think there'll be too much adventure in this set of 6 for the Aussie team. As Steve Murphy attacking the left. Nice pick up by Rigby Murphy. And now Rigby, Notley, well, a penalty here, and it's gone against the Kiwis. That's a big call.
That's just what they didn't want. It was almost the last touch. They needed to have a turnover. The Kiwis need the ball. Without the ball, this will be Australia's Trans-Tasman series.
You can really pick up the tension on the face of the supporters here. The faces, they're watching every pass, every touch. And Neil Ward is with it.
You run it, Bobby, you run it.
Acting half as Zabilio. No need for speed right now for the Aussies. Notley pushes wide for Matters.
Australia counting down the clock here. No need for haste. They are just doing it easy. They want to count this clock down.
Scott Notley turning inside. They get it going now with Brindle. From acting half close to the line. Notley on the deck, still able to come up with the ball.
Roll it now.
Last play now. They lead by 3 touchdowns to 2. Bobby Brindle stepping. Was he caught by Walters? He was. So the end of their 6 plays, New Zealand. This could just about be their last shot at them.
Well, I think you're pretty much on the money. They're going to get 6 touches here. They've got to take the ball all the way down the other end of the field. They've already used up 3. Watch them throw the passes anywhere. They must score.
Big drive from Simon Rigby. Now Shannon Hoff. Well, there's a call of touch on Shannon Hoff. The full-time siren has sounded. The Aussies, they are the Trans-Tasman series. They've got home by 1. What a finish.
What a great piece of play by Australia. They've defended like their lives did depend on it in that second half. They've scored the only touchdown, but this will go down the annals of touch history in Australia as one of their greatest ever victories.
They've got the Trans-Tasman trophy to add to their World Cup crown, and that is how it was in Game 3, the deciding match. Murphy Rigby matters the match winner for 3 touchdowns to the home team. Hoani and Tormai, they got on the board in the first half for New Zealand.
Craig Matters, the most valuable player in the final game of this Test series. What a proud moment for you and your team.
Oh, this is great. It's unbelievable. We've been working for this for almost a year. Just to win it is just unbelievable. It's just so good.
Well, the scoreline says it was very close, but the stats say it is all Australia. Most possession, the greater number of sets of 6, and the least conceded penalties and turnover. This was Australia's game.
Great control in the second half from the Aussie team. They really did play well, and the happiest man on the park, there's plenty of them, has to be their coach, Peter McNevin.
Peter, the Kiwis stole that title away from you in 1993. What's it like to get it back in 97?
Sensational feeling. The boys did it well. I know shadow or doubt that they'd do it, but the conditions were very hard. I'd say there'd be some really tired boys tomorrow, not only in our camp and also in New Zealand. It was very heavy out there, but pleasure for Australia to get back the title that we duly deserve.
Only 1 touchdown the difference in all 3 games. A disappointed man is their coach Wayne Wallace. He's with Amanda.
Well, I think touch was the winner here today. My guys gave it everything they had, and that's all I can ask, and to me they're champions.
What were you particularly proud of their game?
Just their effort. Excuse me. Just the way they played the game in the spirit, like true sportsmen should play it.
There's just so much pride there, isn't there?
There is. We take it all with us, and we bring it all from home with our loved ones and everything else. And you watch this, you'll see some pride.
An open show of emotion from Wayne Wallace. What a series it has been. The Lipton Ice Trans-Tasman Trophy decided. The Aussies reclaimed the crown. It's been great touch from Game 1 all the way through. Russell Fairfax, thanks for your time. Big thanks to Lipton Ice, our great sponsors from Perry Park in Brisbane. On behalf of all the crew, it's bye for now.